and detect vision-related disease. It goes beyond improved vision from glasses or contact lenses. Many common eye diseases such as glaucoma, diabetic eye disease, and age-related macular degeneration often have no warning signs. A dilated eye exam is the only way to detect these diseases in their early stages. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
He got him! That's 3 of them!
The Great Lakes Bay Region's home for Spartans basketball.
Big noon tip-off for the Spartans on Saturday. MSU hosts Maryland at the Breslin. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. It's Wednesday.
Bring gas.
It's Big Win Wednesday, which means we're giving away some goodies at 10:15 thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet today. $100 worth of forward gas cards. The Wilt Chamberlain number, $100 worth of gas cards. That's coming up at 10:15. Be ready to text in that keyword. You know, yesterday I wasn't all that upset with the Drew Petzing hire. In fact, I would say I was positive. I would say I was pro Drew Petzing. I liked the Lions' new offensive coordinator. I saw the fit. I saw the vision. And I purposely didn't really bring up Mike McDaniel because I didn't want to just sit here and be the person that was angry that what I want didn't happen. I didn't want to sit here and slam my fist and say, well, I wanted Mike McDaniel and that didn't happen, so I'm going to be angry about it. I didn't want to do that type of show. So I dove more into the Drew Petzing, found out I kind of liked the guy, and moved on. Last night, we find out that Mike McDaniel is set to become Jim Harbaugh, of all people's offensive coordinator and Justin Herbert's coach down in Los Angeles. Okay. Again, I didn't want to do an angry show. Now I'm angry. Now I'm frustrated with the Detroit Lions because of a report that came out yesterday that Dan Campbell really liked Mike McDaniel when he came in. This is from Jeff Darlington, ESPN. Quote, of the coordinators that Mike McDaniel has interviewed for, the Lions gig was the least likely to materialize. Campbell liked McDaniel a lot, but the Lions didn't view him as quite the right fit for them. Huh. Read between the lines there. What does that tell you? Dan Campbell liked McDaniel a lot, but the Lions didn't view him as the right fit for them. Does that mean Brad Holmes stepped in and was like, no, we're not bringing in anybody that's wearing capri shorts. We want toughness, man. We want someone who's going to fit the culture. We'll find someone else to do things exactly the way we want them to be done. Again, that's me reading between the lines. There's no reporting that that's what happened. But I don't know. Something about this gives me this eerie feeling. Why was he not the right fit, I guess is my first question. Mike McDaniel has this offense, timing-based. I've gone through all the reasons why he would have been a perfect fit for the Detroit Lions. But you got him inside the building and you decided he wasn't a right culture fit. What does that mean? He's not buff? What does that mean? Can't bench press 225 like Campbell can? What does that mean? He lost the locker room in Miami and you're not going to be able to see past that? Okay, he was a young, inexperienced coach. We don't think that this guy could benefit under Ben Johnson. Now I'm kind of angered at what has transpired since they've hired Drew Petzing and McDaniel becoming an OC. Because when the Lions hired Petzing yesterday, I was kind of working under the impression, okay, he's probably going to become a head coach, Mike McDaniel. Some team is going to give him an offer to be their head coach. Whether it's the Bills, who just fired McDermott yesterday, whether it's the Browns, who want to kind of ramp things back up, someone was going to be willing to do it. He pulled his name from all of the head coaching candidacies he was involved with and said, I want to go play for Jim Harbaugh. Two of the weirdest coaches we have in the NFL. Now coaching the same squad, Justin Herbert and the Chargers. First of all, let's buy stock on that team. Maybe this is what Justin Herbert needs to get over that hump. Second of all, I can't seem to figure out why McDaniel wasn't a fit. Third of all, why is it being reported that Dan Campbell really liked him, but the Lions, not Dan Campbell, the Lions didn't like the fit? I'm not going to go out and say that there's a crack between Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, but it's not that hard to connect those sort of dots when you read a report like that from Jeff Darlington from ESPN. Campbell wanted this and Brad Holmes wanted that. The Lions are never going to let that leak out, ever, first of all. But again, I told you yesterday, this is now the first time that we are sitting here questioning whether or not we trust Brad Holmes. Whether or not you like Drew Petzing essentially comes down to whether or not you trust Brad Holmes to put the right pieces around him on the offensive line. You trust that? Okay, then Drew Petzing will probably be fine. But now I'm sitting here wondering, did Brad Holmes actually step in and say, we don't want Mike McDaniel because fill in the blank reason why? Because I want to hire my own guy. I want someone to do everything I would command him to do. I want the credit. I don't know. But it's weird. Weirder than Mike McDaniel is himself. I'm sitting here wondering why he wasn't the right fit. And now, unlike yesterday when I liked the Drew Petzing hire, still like it, now I'm kind of ticked off about it because it feels as if Brad Holmes is not standing on his ground right now. He's standing in the way. I'm all for praising Brad Holmes for the good things that he does. I think he does a lot of things well. We're yet to miss a first-round pick. If you want to say Terry Arnold's a miss, I'd say hold on to that thought for 8 more months and let's see what happens. But he's knocked these first-round picks out of the park. I really like the fact that no matter what, we beg him for this edge rusher across from Aiden Hutchinson, we get production out of that spot. Those first 2 years, those first 3 years in the draft, flawless, didn't miss. Give credit where credit's due. But the last few years, there's been a couple heat checks moved to where he thinks that he's this like godsend person who can't make a mistake, drafting Sione Vaki. You're going to draft a special teams guy? You're going to draft a running back who played safety in college? And talk about how good of a fit this is going to be for the Lions, how excited you are to have him? You're going to draft up and take Giovanni Manu? Some guy from British Columbia nobody's ever heard of? You're going to trade back into the third round to take him? What? This is no different than that. Mike McDaniel's available, and it's kind of undisputed that this guy is the best fit or is the best offensive coordinator that you can hire right now. He's the most talented coach that's on the market. There's a reason he's being discussed so much in NFL circles. He is the marquee guy. That hasn't changed. And the Lions now, we find out, have basically said, nope, we're okay. We are passing on this guy. We're going to let some other team pick him up and help him improve that team. And we're going to go with Drew Petzing and do it our own way. When the reporting is Dan Campbell actually really liked Mike McDaniel. Is Brad Holmes confident in himself, or is he being naive? I'm starting to think it's the second option here, unfortunately. Again, I think Brad Holmes is a good general manager, but now this is a somewhat repeated history of getting a little ahead of himself and being overconfident and letting his pride get in the way. That, to me, is concerning. And if the Lions truly did say, we're good on McDaniel because we want to bring someone in who we can kind of control, who's not going to steal a spotlight, then I have a problem with what has happened. And I think now that McDaniel's been hired as an offensive coordinator, not a head coach, I'm officially a little ticked off about it, Kyle.
There's that phrase, we're good. You know, that's the one that Lions fans always love. We're good on McDaniel. Yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons why you could at least come up with that maybe they chose Petzing over McDaniel, but obviously they would all just be hypotheticals. But what you do know is that report has got to be the most alarming part of all of this.
100%.
You know, it'd be different if we had come out and found that, like, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, they both just really liked Drew Petzing. And that was the guy that they both agreed on that thought was the best fit for this team. Maybe they think that he's the long-term offensive coordinator, and Mike McDaniel had all these different job offers, and it's very clear that if he's successful, he's going to be the head coach. You could come up with all that stuff. But the fact that the head coach and the general manager, these two guys who have worked hand in hand over the last 5 years now in Detroit, have been this like awesome duo in Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, are essentially in a disagreement here about this to an extent. That doesn't make you feel good as a Lions fan. Especially with McDaniel not taking a head coaching spot. Like, that's the worst part of all of it.
I don't think it'll ever be reported that these two guys disagreed. I think the Lions are excellent at keeping things behind closed doors. I mean, we didn't know Drew Petzing had even been interviewed, right? But that reporting from Darlington, it's a bizarre phrasing of it that Campbell really liked him, but the Lions didn't. That's essentially what that said. Yeah, why?
That's my question
what
about
happened
this.
Here?
You know, they are the biggest take best player available in the draft guy.
Precisely.
That's their big thing, you know? And honestly, I agree with it. Like, I like that philosophy they've done all this time. Okay, who's the best play caller available?
McDaniel.
It'd be different if McDaniel didn't want to come here because he wanted to get a head coaching spot. I completely understand that.
And I wouldn't be mad if somehow the Lions, I think it's the easiest sell in the world. It's like trying to sell water to someone who's been in the desert for 40 years and hasn't drank a bottle of water. But,
right, yeah.
Like, if he would have just passed on that, okay, that's one thing. The Lions passed on him. That's the part I can't really make any sense of.
I mean, like, look, the Chargers' job, Justin Herbert, is fun. That was a fun passing offense this year. They have a ton of weapons. They have coming off of a rookie year running back that looked awesome when he was healthy. I totally get that. But I don't think it's better than the Lions' offensive coordinator spot.
No, I really don't.
You know? And that's just the part that makes this really tough.
989-837-6125. Do you feel like Brad Holmes is standing in the way? I'm getting to that point. I'm not quite there and ready to tell you that I think Brad Holmes is hurting the Lions, but there's now multiple pieces of evidence and multiple things you can kind of stack against him right now where you just kind of leave the conversation going, what happened here? with this decision. And I feel like this totally qualifies. Why is Mike McDaniel not a coach if Dan Campbell liked him? You know, the guy who's going to be working the closest with him. Why is Mike McDaniel not there to coach him? Why is it being reported that Dan Campbell liked him? Is Brad Holmes standing in the way? 989-837-6125. 9 o'clock hour, as always, brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. We talk about the game plan all the time on this show, right? Mike McDaniels versus not Jeff Darlington. That'd be funny if Jeff Darlington had a game plan.
He should be the OC.
Jeff Darlington, yeah, that's right. Mike McDaniel's game plan, usually excellent. I'm a big fan of it. Iron Stack Technologies' game plan, they're going to help you change your business. They help businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next, so you can focus on your mission instead of your technology. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Every successful team starts with a solid game plan, and your business technology should be no different. Iron Stack Technology helps organizations design, protect, and manage IT systems that perform when it matters most. With a focus on security, reliability, and execution, Iron Stack keeps your businesses ready for the next play. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. Learn more at ironstacktechnology.com.
Dreaming of warmer days? Now's the perfect time to start at Maple Hill Nursery. For a limited time, take 30% off all current in-stock outdoor furniture floor models. Our annual January sale to make room for what's next. And what's next is exciting. We're adding Three Birds Casual and Lloyd Flanders to our already fine selection of outdoor furniture, arriving soon. Now's also the best time to place your outdoor furniture order, so it's ready when spring weather hits. Order early, enjoy sooner, and Maple Hill can even store it for you. Maple Hill Nursery. Get ready for outdoor season today.
This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
We got a game, boys!
This week on Sunday Night Football.
Conference Championship Sunday is on the Mitt. The AFC features the New England Patriots and Denver Broncos. The NFC's got the Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks. Our coverage starts at 2 on Sunday, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. Is Brad Holmes hurting or helping the Detroit Lions right now? Conspiracy Ben would tell you, okay, this report from Jeff Tarlington says Dan Campbell really liked the Lions, or really liked Mike McDaniel. The Lions didn't think he was a right fit. And then he becomes Jim Harbaugh's offense coordinator. Man, those are two weird guys. Just weird oddballs coaching up Justin Herbert out in Los Angeles. So if the Lions wanted one thing and Dan Campbell wanted another, is there disagreement with what's going on? That's just conspiracy Ben talking. But sometimes it's fun to bring that out. 989-837-6125. Text coming in saying, how about this? Ownership did not want to pay top dollar, and Petzing is much cheaper. That would be really sad if true. You're right. It would be very sad if that's true. This text also saying the front office is taking the heat to protect Dan Campbell's PR. Whew. I do think there's a sense of we're going to protect Dan Campbell at all costs, but I don't even know if they need to do that. Like, I think the majority of Lions fans understand that Dan Campbell, and at least in my eyes, is going to be here for the foreseeable future. And maybe that's like totally naive. Hey, your franchise finally has some success, and now this guy wants to keep his coach around forever. But it does feel like the floor with Dan Campbell is incredibly high every single season. No?
Yeah, I mean, it does. I just don't see, like, it's not like the Lions pushed out this report. You know, it was ESPN. Why would Jeff Darlington try to make up something to protect Dan Campbell's PR, you know, or whatever you want to call it?
And based on how much the ticket prices have gone up, I wouldn't think that ownership's penny pinching and trying to save money on the offensive coordinator. Sheila put out in her press release after the game, or after the season, like, we're going to do anything necessary to win a Super Bowl. You'd think that means going and grabbing your offensive coordinator. I also feel like she basically green lights anything Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell want.
Well, that's the one thing that makes you question about, like, the Lions didn't think it was a good fit. Like, does that directly mean it's Brad Holmes, or does that mean it's because, like Laney in our YouTube chat says, if it's being reported that the Lions didn't like the fit, is it possible that it was above Brad Holmes? You know, was it Chris Spielman? Was it anyone else involved in ownership? Not saying that it was, but I think that's like a solid, like, is this all to blame on Brad Holmes? We're probably not going to find out, of course, but it's definitely interesting.
Another text, although it was leaked, Dan Campbell really liked McDaniel. The second part was that Dan Campbell didn't leak that he is the one that didn't agree with with McDaniel's run scheme. So basically saying McDaniel's run scheme is the reason that the Lions didn't want to go with McDaniel.
I mean, it could be. Like, Petzing is this. They're different coordinators. You know, it'd be different if they were like the same guy. One of them is just clearly much better at doing the same thing, you know? And so that could be the case.
Job.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think their schemes are certainly different. And for a team that has kind of already openly said they're going to get rid of David Montgomery, and then they hire this run-heavy offensive coordinator, kind of interesting.
Bizarre.
You know, a little bit funny to think about. But
because McDaniel's not a run-it-down-your-throat type of guy.
Right.
He's not a punch-you-in-the-mouth type of run game. It's a little finesse. It's a lot on the outside.
He wants to throw the football. I mean, like, Devon Achane isn't a guy that gets 15 to 20 carries a game.
No, but he'll get the ball thrown to him.
Yeah, he'll get 15 to 20
times.
touches. Yeah, of course.
Maybe there's a sense that the Lions really wanted to be that, like, they're just unwilling to move on from this toughness, grittiness, and they didn't think Mike McDaniel brought that to the table.
I don't like that, if that's the case.
I don't like that either.
I just don't see, like, I don't know. Ben Johnson, you can say that he brought the toughness and grittiness too, but he also just brought the genius offensive play caller, and that's what worked. And Mike McDaniel is that. And that's the worst part about this is, like, we're just going to be kind of tossing Drew Petzing to the side in this conversation, which is unfortunate for him because he's done nothing to deserve that so far as the Lions offensive coordinator.
And I don't hate the fit.
Right.
Like, if Mike McDaniel wouldn't have worked out and he was a head coach somewhere and they hired Drew Petzing, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
The issue is you're the one that told Mike McDaniel to F off.
Which
That's
is
the
frustrating.
unfortunate part.
Just because he's not this big, gritty, rah-rah guy. Like, do you need him to be?
Exactly. You have the rah-rah guys. Why not blend the scheme and the finesse and the genius play calling with the rah-rah tough guy Dan Campbell mentality and breed it into something that is unstoppable in the NFL? But instead they're like, no, we just don't like the fit. Okay, what's Drew Petzing about that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, is Drew Petzing about this big rah-rah energy? I mean, all we know about him is he's got a ginormous head. And it's almost blocking me in this YouTube. I mean, I can hide behind his head right now. This is crazy.
Or is it Drew Petzing's just not going to take a ton of the attention? Like, he's just going to do as we say. He's going to be quiet and stay to himself. Because Mike McDaniel, no matter what's just going to draw a lot of attention to him.
Right.
He wears the sunglasses inside. He wears the capri shorts. The Lions didn't want that sort of attention on a coach.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Another text here, 989-837-6125. Do we think that maybe they didn't want a one-year coordinator? Maybe they wanted someone who's not just going to leave? Potentially. But, I mean, we're like in the territory now in year, 6 of Dan Campbell? Yeah, year 6. You got to be chasing Super Bowls.
Yeah.
This is no longer, well, let's set us up a year from now. Like, we're not rebuilding anymore. You got a gun for this thing at any means necessary. And that, to me, was Mike McDaniel. And again, I didn't want to do this yesterday because I didn't want to sit here and tell everyone, well, it's not the guy I wanted, so I'm mad and pound my fist and be pissed off for 3 hours. I didn't want to do that because I liked Drew Petzing. But now that we find out what we found out yesterday after the show, that Dan Campbell liked him, the Lions didn't see the fit, and then he gets hired as an offensive coordinator rather than a head coach, yeah, now I'm ticked off about it. Because it feels like Brad Holmes or the Lions or whoever it is, someone jumped in and said, no, this is not the right fit. Clearly the most talented guy available. To your point, that's not what they do in the draft. Every year in the draft, they take the best players available and they make it pretty clear that that's what they're going to do. They don't draft based on needs.
Or fit.
You hired an offensive coordinator strictly based off of fit. I'm trying to fix this run game. How about this? Pass the ball. You've got an awesome quarterback. You've got awesome weapons. Pass the ball.
Or like Mike McDaniel could have figured out with the run game too because he's an awesome play caller. You know, like it's not like he's going to run the same exact offense he did in Miami.
Yeah, what do you think? He's just going to abandon Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah.
Do you think he's just not going to give him the ball? That's the part I don't understand.
I don't either.
Joe texting in saying, it's still not worth getting upset about. I get it, but it's done. And I agree with you, though, about last night. Now it's time to be a little bit angry. But you just said don't get upset about it, Joe.
Don't get mad, but like if you want to get mad, I get it. I do agree, though, that like after today, it's just like Mike McDaniel is the Chargers offensive coordinator and Drew Petzing is the Lions offensive coordinator.
Sure.
But this also is just setting
though?
up Petzing for failure. That's the part that sucks.
And when Mike McDaniel has Justin Herbert humming next season with a healthy offensive line, it's going to be a tough pill for Lions fans to swallow.
They're immediately going to look at that and be upset and blame it on Drew Petzing, who is this guy. And even if the Lions offense is looking good, if it doesn't look as cool and awesome as the Chargers, then people are going to be upset,
well,
which is the part that sucks. No, but it's just like it's like it's not Petzing's fault. That's kind of the guy I feel bad for in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he's the offensive coordinator of the Lions, so I guess I can't feel that bad for him.
Petzing, I believe his success will be determined what happens the rest of the offseason. How Dan Campbell and more specifically Brad Holmes set him up to succeed via the draft, via free agency. If they want to make a trade too, go for it. Whereas I felt like Mike McDaniel could have made the most with the talent they have on the roster right now. And then anything that you kind of add to that is almost an upgrade. That's the way I felt. If you add McDaniel, he already is like...
Yeah, he's the biggest add.
Yeah, he's the X factor. Now you didn't add an X factor. You still got to add the talented players around him. Not to say you didn't have to add talented players if you signed Mike McDaniel, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
yes.
He would have been someone to elevate the offense in its own.
Whereas you signed Drew Petzing, who has a hidden dev trait, and you don't know.
Yeah, nobody seems to know anything about this guy other than the fact that the Arizona fans don't like him. The football geniuses do. And again, it leads me to the conclusion, okay, it's just going to come down to whether or not Brad Holmes sets him up to succeed. And we're going to talk about how they can do that a little bit later on. Potentially a player on the Lions offensive line is going to get cut. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Live here on 100.9 The Mitt. As always, brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, the siding looking a little tired, Bresky has you covered, locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Kind of feels like we're in the middle of one of those right now. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Anyela Eichelberger from Saginaw United. With a 3.99 GPA, Anyela is a two-sport athlete in volleyball and tennis. She serves as a youth ambassador, a stand-up student, and her art is award-winning.
You have art good enough, the teacher will enter your pieces into the show. I did not even know mine was entered into the show. And I actually won 2 awards for the 2 pieces that were entered. The medium I used was color pencil, and it was like a geometric sort of shape, and then the other one was like dot art.
Anyela has been dual enrolled at Delta College in her senior year. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Great Lakes Loons. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
When you're craving something fresh, flavorful, and made with care, you're craving Pizza Baker.
At Pizza Baker, every pizza starts with quality ingredients. Handmade sourdough, premium toppings, and sauces crafted in-house. Then it's all baked to perfection in our wood-fired oven, giving every bite that signature Pizza Baker taste. From classic Neapolitans to unique specialty creation, there's something for everyone. Dine in or grab it to go. Your perfect pizza is just a short visit away.
Pizza Baker, trust me, you're going to love this pizza.
Hi, this is Kurt Yeiter from Yeiter Insurance Group. When the calendar flips, we all have new goals, new adventures, and new things to protect. At Yeiter Insurance Group, your hometown auto owners insurance agency, they're here to help you enter the new year fully covered. New car, new home, or simply wanting peace of mind for your family. Yeiter's team offers one-on-one guidance to match you with the auto owner's coverage that fits your life. Call Yeiter Insurance Group or visit our website for a free coverage review. Yeiter Insurance Group, your friend in the insurance business.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know, according to a recent study conducted by the AOA, the Optical Laboratories Association, and the Vision Council, nearly half of all glasses ordered online had either prescription errors or failed to meet minimum safety standards. Midland Eye Care offers a full-service optical department meeting all your eye care needs. So call your local Midland Eye Care and avoid incorrect prescriptions costing you time and money. Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and on East Washington and Freeland.
Ready to make your summer unforgettable? Bring your crew to Dow Diamond with special group ticket offerings from the Great Lakes Loons. Whether it's your office, church, team, or family party, there's nothing like being at the ballpark. Private venues, high-end food options, or discounted tickets and food credits for groups as small as 16. Book your group outing today by calling 989-837-BALL or visit loons.com.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
We'll get to some more Detroit Lions here coming up. I want to work in some Michigan State. They're both in action, and we are, T-minus 9 days away from the collision course that we've been talking about really since November. We're going to get into both of that as well. Let's do the Mitt Morning Catch.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Yeah, let's do the Mitt Morning Catch. Talk about those teams because both of them were in action last night. Before we do that, though, let's take a look at the community calendar. As always, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Let's tell you what's going on with some of our local high school basketball teams. We'd like to cover them on the Mitt as well. They had some games going on this week. The Midland Dow boys played last night at Fenton High School, and they won 79-69. The Midland High girls, they were at Detroit Edison, and they won 65-46. And the Midland High boys are in action tonight at Linden. Hopefully the weather is nice.
I don't think they're going to be playing.
Well, we don't want to make any bold predictions here.
I'll make a bold one.
You know what the best
Do they
days
have school today?
That's what I was just about to ask, actually. Let me double check that, because there's no way they had school today, actually, right?
No chance.
Let me double check.
That'd be crazy if they did. You don't have to check. This is a sports show.
I'm just interested, though, because what I was going to say was the best thing ever when you were in high school. Yeah, man, they had school today. That's crazy.
They're pissed.
I loved when you didn't have school, but then the weather got nice enough by like 2 p.m. where you still had your basketball game. That was like the best ever.
I think this was my introduction to gambling when
what?
When there was snow coming that night and you kind of knew that you had a chance for a snow day, but they hadn't called it yet the night before. So you stayed up playing Xbox or doing whatever.
Yes.
And
Took
you were
the
like,
risk.
screw it. I think there's going to be a snow day tomorrow, so I'm going to stay up a little later. That, I think, was my introduction to gambling.
And it never worked out usually.
Usually not,
Yeah,
no.
it's just you wake up at 6 a.m. the next day and you're like,
Fuck.
no, right, no way. If you want to know what's going on in the community, just go to maxlovesmidland.com/community-calendar.
I honestly don't know how I used to survive high school, getting up that early every day when I was like 16 years old, basically walking like a mummy or a zombie through your first 3 hours of class.
And truly just having the most jam-packed day of all time. Like when you look back at it, you have 7 different classes all day. And then and then you have or 6 or whatever it is.
I think I had 5.
And then you have basketball practice the second school ends.
There was
all with an 11 a.m. lunch. It's just like
there was a 4-month stretch where I don't think I saw the sun. You got to school before the sun came up, and by the time you left basketball practice, sun was down, man.
Right.
No vitamin D.
It's bad. Anyway, yeah. Okay, let's talk about actual sports here. Those teams did play last night. Michigan and Michigan State both picking up nice wins. Michigan beats up on Indiana in their return back to the Chrysler Center, 86-72, and Michigan State plunks Oregon in the second half, 68-52. Yeah, 52. That MSU defense is still the number 1 defense in the country right now, and it's showing. They won their West Coast trip just like the Wolverines did.
Both against the same teams as well. Is this going to be the year that a Big Ten school finally gets over the hump? Because the SEC is completely like
SEC.
They're not having a
throw
year.
them out. Yeah, throw them out. It's the Big 12 and it's
the Big Ten.
The Big Ten, and then you've got.
I know
some
we
other
do
good
this
schools.
every year, but this does feel like maybe the Big Ten's best chance with how many teams are towards the top.
Yeah, because Illinois is right there in the mix too with them, and Purdue, who in the news, Purdue actually loses late last night to UCLA, 69-67. So Nebraska's now the only undefeated team left in the Big Ten. Yeah, I didn't even throw in Nebraska into that mix. Like, it's just crazy right now. The good teams in the Big Ten.
A lot of good coaches too.
Yeah. Michigan and Michigan State, though, as you mentioned it, next Friday is the game. Michigan does have a tough one before that, so they can't get super hyper-fixated on that. Michigan State does have Maryland this Saturday at home, and then they go at Rutgers on Tuesday. So should be 2 wins for the Spartans ahead of their game against Michigan. And then, of course, the Wolverines have to play Nebraska next Tuesday. That's not before they take on Ohio State at home on Saturday. Ooh, no, that's actually on Friday. So they go double Friday night games. That's pretty fun.
So on ESPN, Michigan on the matchup predictor, Michigan has a 58.3% chance to win. I don't really know how they come up with these numbers.
For Michigan State?
Yeah. I don't really understand.
Yeah.
Like, what do they run, 100 simulations?
Oh, man, the KenPom has Michigan winning by 1 point.
Oh, my God.
74-73.
So the KenPom's not saying Michigan's supposed to win by 17 points by every single opponent anymore?
Yes, that is true, yes. They do have Michigan also beating Nebraska by 9 at home. So I think that's going to be an exposing game of Nebraska.
Me too.
Hopefully Michigan is not too, like we said, focused on what's going on with the Michigan State game, because that Nebraska one is they should kind of expose the Cornhuskers a little bit. Okay, let's move on. Tonight, Pistons-Pelicans at 8, and then you got Wings at Leafs on TNT at 7. So a couple nice games going on in action with our Detroit teams tonight.
So the interesting thing about tonight's Pistons game is they're going up against Trey Murphy on the Pelicans, who's a great three-point shooter, one of the better wing defenders in the NBA. That's a prime trade candidate. The Pelicans have said that they are not willing to trade him. If you overwhelm them, they'll do it. That is definitely someone the Pistons should have their eye on, so you can scout them tonight and see how good of a fit that 3-and-D wing would be, because they do need another shooter. This is someone who could stretch the field. It's like a glorified role player, basically.
I mean, he's probably like, if he is a role player, he is
one of the best in the league.
He's averaging 22 a game.
Yeah.
And he's 39% from deep on 8 attempts a game. Like, truly, just an elite offensive player. And if you've ever seen Trey Murphy, he might have the longest wingspan in the NBA. I mean, the guy is extremely lengthy.
For how tall he is.
He's like 6'8", I think, but he's so lengthy. Just would be an awesome guy to add to this team. He's in year 5, on a good contract.
7'1" wingspan.
Yeah, and that's one of those ones that I'm like, are we sure? Are we sure it's not 7'8"? I mean, it's
right.
It's actually crazy.
And are we sure we're not willing to give 3 first-round picks for a guy the casual NBA fans never heard of? No, I'm not sure. I think this guy would be that big of an addition for the Pistons.
I would argue, honestly, even like better than Porter because he's here long-term.
Yes. That's why he'd probably cost more, too.
Porter's better this season, for sure.
Yeah.
But Murphy brings a little bit more on defense, not nearly as the shooter that Porter is, but he's under contract for 4 more years after this, and it's 25, 27, 29, and 31. Like, that's a really good deal.
I don't think it's crazy to have to give up 3 firsts for someone like that. I really don't. And I would do it.
Yeah, I would too. So you're going to get to watch him tonight against the Pistons. Pelicans, though, are, the first 10-win team in NBA history to have 6 untradeable, untouchable guys. So it's going to be a little bit tough.
It's a disastrous franchise. It really is.
It's just bad. Okay, let's do one more thing on the news here, and then we'll save the rest for later. Baker Mayfield was responding to a tweet earlier, or this was actually last night, of essentially a Browns supporter tweeting out about Kevin Stefanski now going to Atlanta and that Stefanski took over a bad situation, had bad quarterbacks, blah, blah, blah. He's done it before. He can do it in Atlanta. Well, Baker Mayfield just responded to this tweet, and he doesn't really seem to like Kevin Stefanski too much. He tweeted out, quote, failed, because they called Baker Mayfield a failed quarterback in Cleveland. Failed is quite the reach, pal. Still waiting on a text or call from him after I got shipped off like a piece of garbage. Can't wait to see you twice a year, coach. I'm here for it,
Well, it's too late now if you're Kevin Stefanski. Imagine now he calls him. He's like, hey, Baker. I'm sorry. Baker said he's still waiting on the call. I don't think Baker would accept the call.
No, I think he definitely would not.
He'd decline it. Send it right to voicemail.
It's just funny because Baker has beef with the Panthers, of course, after they waived him, and then the Rams revived his career for the couple weeks that he was with them. And so he's openly talked about how he hates the Panthers, and then now he hates the guy that coaches the Falcons. Now he's just got to find a way to hate the Saints, and he just despises everyone in the division.
Does he hate the Saints because of what happened in the final week of the season?
Ooh.
When they didn't get into the playoffs?
That's it.
Does he hate himself for being the favorite to win MVP 6 weeks into the season and then playing like one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL for the last 2/3 of the season? You hate himself for that?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, we'll save the rest for later.
All right, this is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Live on Instagram. Nope, just kidding. I don't know why I said that. We've never once been live on Instagram.
No.
Live on Facebook,
We
live
should,
on
though.
YouTube. That would be cool. And obviously live here in the Great Lakes Bay region. Hey, if you're looking to move, even in this disgusting winter storm that we're getting right now, you got to meet Matt Smith, Modern Realty, redefining real estate with a fresh, modern approach. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, Matt Smith delivers personalized service tailored to you. Cutting-edge marketing, local expertise, and commitment to making your real estate experience as smooth and successful as possible. From cozy starter homes to luxury properties, they know how to find the perfect fit for you. Trust a team that combines innovation with real-world know-how. That is Matt Smith, Modern Realty.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
Jack Frost is nipping at your nose, but don't let him touch your thermostat. This winter, keep your home warm and worry-free with Answer Heating and Cooling. From furnace tune-ups to emergency repairs, our friendly professional techs make sure your heating system runs smoothly all season long. Customers rave about our courteous service and how we leave everything clean and working perfectly. Call Answer Heating and Cooling or visit AnswerSOS.com today. Answer Heating and Cooling. Don't be left in the cold. Let us keep you warm.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text CLEAN CAR to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
He got him! That's 3 of them!
The Great Lakes Bay region's home for Spartans basketball.
A big noon tip-off for the Spartans on Saturday. MSU hosts Maryland at the Breslin. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the My Pros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness now, I think it's been probably 4 years.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Michigan State both in action last night. We'll get back to the Mike McDaniel thing in the 11 o'clock hour. If you missed it, you can rewind right now on YouTube. We'll get into a certain Detroit Lion who got a big-time extension, who should probably get cut coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. But we did have Michigan State both in action last night. I know each team still has 2 games until the Michigan State collision that we've been basically getting ready for, gearing up for since November. But I just can't believe we're 9 days away from it. I feel a lot better about the Spartans' chances to pull out a victory now compared to a month ago. I guess I feel better about the Spartans right now than I have at any point this season, the way that they're playing at this moment in time and the way that Michigan has taking a step back seems like a negative connotation, but okay, they don't look like they're going to win every game by 25 points anymore. They look like a beatable team. So for that reason, right now, I feel like it's going to come down to the wire. Yeah, Michigan should probably still be favored, but Michigan State, I give them just as good of a chance as anybody else to beat this Michigan team.
Yeah, I mean, with the way that MSU is playing right now, like, if you've seen what Jeremy Fears has been doing, man, I mean, this guy is without a doubt a top 3 point guard in the country right now, and there's a case to be made that he is the best. He has really been elevating the half-court offense for Michigan State.
Yeah.
I still think there's a ton of questions with their spacing, and, you know, Cohen Carr brings a lot of more question marks than maybe excitement. He is the exciting guy, but, man, it's not all the time, even though he had a really good game last night, so I don't want to trash on him. And a guy like Carson Cooper has continued to grow. And sure, like even, you know, Chris, who talked about it in our YouTube chat, he says, I'm not as confident in Michigan basketball as most. They have too many turnovers, too many missed free throws. This is still, though.
The Adae free throw stuff is, I mean, that's number one reason to be alarmed if you're a Michigan fan. In close games down the stretch, you can't have him out there if he's going to be shooting sub 50%.
Yeah. I mean, you can't have him out there. It's kind of crazy.
We're yet to see the team do a Hackamera. Once that happens, you got to pull him from the game.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Izzo's the first guy to try to expose that a little bit.
Maybe MSU really values winning the free throw battle, so sending the team to the free throw line could be maybe something I wouldn't expect. But yeah, I
might still win the free throw battle by sending that doofus to the line. I love Adae Mara, but he can't make a free throw. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. And I just think that, like, this happens every year. Like, there's never been a team. Okay, maybe there has been a team, but, like, it doesn't.
There's never been a team.
There's never been a team. So.
Period. End of sentence.
Michigan and Michigan State, like, just in general, like, they always have spurts. How the Big Ten conference schedule goes, no matter what, there's always going to be a section of the schedule. It was the West Coast trip for MSU last year. Michigan State was dominant in the Big Ten a year ago, won it pretty handedly, but when they went out west, they lost to a bad USC team. Like, and they lost
UCLA too, right?
Yeah, they lost both of their West Coast trips. That's what it was. Yeah. So, like, that didn't happen this year. For Michigan right now, yeah, sure, they're going through their quote-unquote lull. They're an elite team. If this is a lull for them, like, look out for once it gets back to what it was. I just think that at some point it's going to click again for Michigan, and the Spartans better hope that doesn't happen next Friday. But luckily it's in the Breslin, and as I continuously like to let the folks know, Dusty May has never beaten Tom Izzo. So
tough part of the schedule kind of coming up for the Wolverines. Ohio State on Friday, and then Nebraska and Michigan State, 2 top 10 teams next week. Look, I think there's been a new layer to this game, because if you click on, like, Michigan on whatever website and bring up the player stats, do you know who's now leading this team in scoring? Or, I'm sorry, second in scoring.
Cadeau's been balling.
He has. It's not him.
Okay. I was just going for a sneaky guy because I really haven't looked at this.
It's Merez Johnson.
Ah, yeah.
He has become somewhat of an X factor for this team. I thought it was going to be Trey McKinney, who has, in fact, hit the ground running as a 5-star freshman, just shooting lights out from behind the arc. He's still over 40% for the year. Merez Johnson, not a high volume guy, but shooting 40% from the outside, and is kind of just this tank of a human being that has kind of crawled into this role of just the enforcer down low, because there's not a lot of teams that have someone with this sheer size and strength to stay in front of him at this level. I mean, he catches the ball 6 feet from the basket, and he's just going to one dribble pound a shoulder into your chest and go up and finish at the rim. I thought this was just kind of a nice role guy to have on the team if you're a Michigan fan, but he has kind of developed into this something else besides that, to where it's almost a form of offense of its own. And I'm not exactly sure who on Michigan State is going to be matched up with him, but I do know that Michigan State, at sending the double teams and getting him to pass out of that, they might be able to expose something there. Because as much as I love the Merez Johnson bully ball stuff, Michigan State would be the team to try to figure out a way of like, okay, you can. We're going to make you think you're in the right position. We want you to think that this is the right matchup for you, and we want you to attack. But really, you're just going to walk yourself into a double team, and we're going to end up forcing a turnover because Michigan turns the ball over a lot. Michigan State forces a ton of them.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, if there's one team I trust to figure it out, it's the best defense in the country, you know?
Yes.
That's what I mean. These are the two best defenses in the entire country. That's what I'm excited to see. Like, the matchups, I know we're still like 9 days out, so we're not doing like a full breakdown here, but I would assume that you put Kohler on Merez Johnson. That would be my matchup. Obviously, Cooper and Mara just kind of have to match up. And then Carr gets the Landenberg matchup, because Yaxel does like to operate on the perimeter more often than not when you have, of course, Merez and Ade Mara. So I would guess that's kind of the matchups from the MSU perspective. But, yeah, like, what is Dusty May going to dial up against his defense that his offense now has been a little bit more prone to turnovers like they were last year?
I would be trying to get Ade Mara as many touches as possible, knowing he can probably score one-on-one against Cooper the majority of the time. He's just got the size on him. And probably the weight, too. Definitely the weight. Even if they send doubles at him, Ade's one of those guys that he is one of the centers that can pass out of the double teams and find a cutting Yaxel or cutting Merez Johnson. I wouldn't be trying to funnel my offense through Merez Johnson at all. I think I'd be trying to funnel it through Ade Mara against the Spartans.
And that's the thing. Like, Michigan's offense doesn't really flow through Merez Johnson. He just so happens to get 16 and 8 on a given night just because of how active he is everywhere, you know, and he ends up in the right spot. Like, he's just a really fundamentally sound offensive player that he's able to get a lot of easy scores. And so it's nice to have that.
Shooting 67% from the field. Which
how
is,
much?
Okay. It just, like, to your point, he doesn't really take looks that he doesn't know he's not going to make, you know?
Yeah.
He finds a way to impact the game no matter what. And he's become somewhat of an extra wrinkle for this Michigan team that I wasn't necessarily prepared for at the beginning of the season.
No, like you said, I mean, we even discussed right at the beginning of the year, like, could they go with a potential 3 big lineup? Could they? They just do.
Yeah.
It rocks, you know, like the fact that we even toss that idea out and being like, I don't know, are they going to run 3 bigs? Yeah, they are, and it's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Roddy Gale's kind of been the one to suffer this year in terms of the minutes, like someone we thought Michigan was going to lean into a lot more this year, but
it's a much better role for Roddy Gale.
I agree.
They relied on him way too much last year. Yeah, he'd have the games where he hit 6 threes. He also more often than not had the games where he went 1 for 8.
Yeah. And now they're sitting in a position where he can kind of come in off the bench, and really any points he gives you is a luxury.
Yes.
For Michigan, because you have McKinney coming off the bench, who's able to put up a good amount of points. You've got Cheddar, who's going to light it up from the outside. This is, like, I know we've just been saying this over and over again, but I think this is going to be potentially the college basketball game of the year. It's a rivalry game. It's the first of 2 matchups this season. It's 2 of the best defenses in college basketball. Not 2 of. It's the 2 best. And whoever wins this has a pretty decent chance of winning the Big Ten. There's not really bigger stakes than that. And it's a Friday night.
It's a Friday night, and it's
in
on
the Breslin.
And it's on Fox, so we probably get Benetti and Raft on it as well. Like,
I think it's going to be the best conference game of the year across the Big Ten, across college basketball. I know sometimes the beginning of the year matchups of
they're cool because of the numbers next to the team's names.
Yes.
This doesn't matter.
This is something
different. This is Michigan State, and they're both awesome. Yeah.
I can't wait. We are 9 days away, a week from Friday. 989-837-6125. It is Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet. Today we're giving away $100 worth of forward gas cards. You got a chance to win that at 10:15 to start things out in this 10 o'clock hour. We're going to talk about a Detroit Lions player who got a big-time contract extension, who I don't think is going to be on the team next season. You're going to agree with me after you hear this stat. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Anyela Eichelberger from Saginaw United. With a 3.99 GPA, Anyela is a two-sport athlete in volleyball and tennis. She serves as a youth ambassador, a stand-up student, and her art is award-winning.
You have art good enough, the teacher will enter your pieces into the show. I did not even know mine was entered into the show. And I actually won 2 awards for the 2 pieces that were entered. The medium I used was color pencil, and it was like a geometric sort of shape, and then the other one was like dot art.
Anyela has been dual enrolled at Delta College in her senior year. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
That ball is gone. And if you want to hit one out of the park for Midland, listen up. The Midland Area Community Foundation just launched something special, the Wavemakers Society.
The Wavemakers Society is how the Midland Area Community Foundation brings people together to invest in our community's future. It's about creating ripples of generosity that grow into waves of lasting change. When we all give a little with intention, we build permanent community capital that supports Midland's greatest needs now and for generations to come.
That's a game changer. Step up to the plate and join the team shaping Midland's future.
Learn more at midlandfoundation.org.
Make waves. Create ripples. Shape Midland's future today. Matt, what is the real estate market like right now for buyers and for sellers?
Great question. Right now, we're seeing much more of a balanced market. Still tends to be a little bit more of a seller's market, but much more balanced, which means on the listing side, you really need to make sure that your home is priced right and prepared right. It makes it more important than ever to talk to somebody that really knows how to help you get your home ready for the market.
Modern Realty's Matt Smith.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
So ESPN puts out this article of a bold prediction for every team in this upcoming NFL season. Not this one that's currently happening and playing out. 4 teams left, obviously, conference championship weekend coming ahead. But next season, bold predictions. And the big prediction for this offseason for the Detroit Lions was the Lions will cut Taylor Decker. Well, we've all talking about what happens if Taylor Decker decides to retire, which seems likely. But what happens if he's like, you know what? I don't actually need surgery on my shoulder. I want to come back. It's going to be hard to find an offensive lineman necessarily better than him that you can add in free agency. But in the draft, sometimes you come across these first-round tackles that are just hit the ground running, similar to the way that Penei Sewell did in 2021. Here's the thing, guys. If you cut Taylor Decker after June 1st, this is what makes me think maybe it's just time to cut him regardless of if he's coming back or not. Like, it's just time to move on. If you do it after June 1st, you save $18 million in cap space for this year alone. In the past 3 seasons, Decker's allowed 18 sacks, 16 quarterback hits, 109 pressures. This year he missed 3 games. The injuries are always going to be something that you have to think about with Taylor Decker going forward if you're Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, whoever. I saw that $18 million number, and I think I'm now just under the belief, no matter if he decides to retire or come back, it's probably just time to move forward into a new chapter of the offensive line. And I think that kind of plays out without Taylor Decker. What would be the reason to bring him back? If you know you're going to take an offensive tackle in the first round regardless, which I believe, and I think many believe, the Lions should. Go find that guy across from Penei Sewell. I think it's way more important to find the guy across from Penei Sewell than I do of it finding the guy across from Aiden Hutchinson. The offensive line is more important right now. I'm sorry. So why not just go get the best? You shouldn't think you're drafting as high as 17 ever again. This theoretically is the highest you're drafting for a while. Go get an offensive tackle, one of these first-round graded dudes, put him across from Sewell, and move on from Decker. Plus, you get an $18 million check to go spend on whoever you want this offseason. Then you can start going and spending on a center. Or for that matter, go spend on a guy across from Aiden Hutchinson. Go spend on depth in the secondary. You get an $18 million check. That might be enough alone, even if Taylor Decker was playing all right. But there has been a decline in play the last couple of seasons. It feels like he routinely is getting destroyed by any really great edge rusher, and he misses games. I think it's time to move on.
So would you, I mean, Taylor Decker obviously is a very decorated Lion. You know, he's been here his whole career, clearly loves the franchise. Is this something that you would kind of want the front office to go to Decker about? Like, if he is going to retire, and if there's even a doubt there, which there obviously is. I mean, based off of everything that he said after that final game, it was very obvious that he's at least considering it, you know? That's fair to say. Do you go to him and just say, look, this is the best route for us if you are going to retire, and it's for us to cut you after that date, you know? And then you announce your retirement after that.
I think it totally determines how much money goes against, like, because I think when players retire, this is something I read about Frank Ragnow too. You don't announce your retirement early on because you lose out on some portion of guaranteed money. I don't know if Decker would just be cool with getting cut and losing out on a ton of guaranteed money.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it just something that you propose to him? Or is that not how you want a guy to go out? You know, a guy that's been here his whole career and has a really good relationship with his team. You don't want it to affect his relationship with the team post-retirement.
You can tell him. I guess that wouldn't the longer he waits this thing out, the more it's in question. After June 1st, I mean, that's after the draft. That's after free agency.
Yeah, I mean, Frank Ragnow retired on June 2nd.
Yeah, I would say just call it. Just be done. I bet that June 1st date has something to do with the retirement stuff, too, if Frank Ragnow did it on the 2nd.
That's a good point, yeah.
Because after you do it on June 1st, you can cut the dead cap up into 2 different seasons, so it ends up saving you even more money for this following season in 2026. So $18 million if you do it after the 1st. Like, that is almost reason enough alone to move on from him. And honestly, like, the more I think about this, him getting a contract extension in the 24 training camp almost seems kind of crazy at this point, right?
Why is that?
They drafted an offensive tackle immediately following that.
Your boy.
My boy. Yeah, Giovanni Manu. And now it feels like his career is going to end after one season of the contract extension. Maybe that is the reason why.
I was just asking. Yeah.
Because when he signed the contract extension, it was 3 years, $60 million, average of 20 for 25, 26, 27. He's going to play 1 year of that, and they're going to cut him? That's why it sounds a little crazy, but man, that saves a ton of money.
It does, and maybe it was something that they kind of planned for, though. Like, this was a thing they could do with Decker. Hey, we're going to give you this extension. If you choose to stick around and play, then that money's there for you. If you don't, though, then we're probably just going to cut you before you retire. You know, maybe there was some sort of deal made there. A lot of this stuff is pre-planned out as far as those contracts go, so it wouldn't shock me if there was something made there.
Yeah, I can't imagine ownership would like that. Hey, this guy might retire, and we might owe him a ton of money regardless.
I mean, it's like he
but
sucks.
But we're going to give it to him. No, he doesn't suck.
Like,
that's
he's
the
worth
problem.
his contract. You know, it's not like it's a bad contract. It just can, if he's not going to be playing, yeah, of course it's a bad contract.
I really think the only way you upgrade that spot is drafting someone in the first round.
You're not signing someone, yeah.
Yeah, there's not free agents that just walk around and hit the market that play that position at a premium level. That doesn't happen. So I think the best way you can like truly upgrade that spot, the only way is to take one in the first round. You're not doing it with a second round dude.
No. I mean, even the difference between the top tackle and the guy that you get in the middle of the first round sometimes can be pretty huge.
Which is why I'm down to get aggressive and use next year's first round pick to, I mean, if it takes, hey, we're only in love with 2 tackles that are going in the first round, one of them just fell off the board at 4, and now we're worried he might not make it past 10, I'm totally content with using next year's first round pick and taking and jumping back in and taking him, or trading up and taking him in some way. Like, I'm down to be aggressive to make sure that gets fixed. Because like we talked about to open up the show, Drew Petzing, whether or not he has success, I think is completely determined by how efficiently Brad Holmes can fix this offensive line. I think you got to treat this in a by any means necessary conversation. By any means necessary, you got to do what you can to fix the O-line. And if that means being aggressive and burning a couple day 3 picks to go get your guy in the first round who you know is a sure thing, do it. Why not?
So are you officially on pro cut Taylor Decker?
Yes. I think it's time to move on. I don't want to deal with the is he playing, is he not playing 18 weeks in a row next season. That got a little old. And most of the time he did suit up, but he did miss 3 games this year. You were always kind of back of your mind worried about the shoulder. And I feel like I've just seen him get routinely beat in big games when he's going up against, Pro Bowl edge rushers. And I think it's tough to say that, when you go up against the Pro Bowlers, you play worse. Okay, but if you're like consistently just getting routed by these guys, then I think that might be a sign where it's time to move on. If it's someone that you think you can upgrade, which I think it is in the first round, then yeah, I think it's time. And you get an $18 million check to go spend on another running back if you really want to. If they decide to move on from Montgomery, you could really try to go all in on an edge rusher, like similar to the Bills' Joey Bosa contract of, hey, this guy's got some pedigree to him. He's dealt with injuries for one reason or another. He's a little cheap right now. Maybe he's older. Trey Hendrickson. I don't know. $18 million isn't nothing to scoff at. Are you in the pro cut Taylor Decker camp?
I would just this is so circumstantial, but we had it happen a year ago. You just got to find out what his plan is early. As far as does he want to come back or does he not? Because that changes a lot of things.
Okay, let's say he does want to come back. What do you do?
Because then it creates an awkward situation of like, well, we still probably should draft your replacement, even if you are coming back. But if you are coming back, this still could benefit us so much to cut you. And so either way, I think they're headed for something awkward with this $18 million potentially to free up. I think I'm probably with you. I could talk myself into the other side, though, if he wants to come back, of course. Because if he's coming back, he's not going to play for another team. He's coming back to the Lions or he's done. It's that simple.
What is stopping them, when they ultimately make this decision, even before the draft or like on draft week, hey, man, we're probably drafting your replacement here, and after June 1st, we're going to move on. Like, I know you brought that up, but I don't really know what's stopping them from doing that.
Yeah, probably just the fact that he's been here his whole career, and it's just like they have a really good relationship, and you don't want to
better than blindsiding him.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. That if you are going to do it, that's the way to do it. Is there any sort of potential like Zadarius Smith's hopeful situation where they cut him and then like, hey, we'll just sign him back, even though the Lions never did, but it was just that was always kind of the rumor for a cheaper number.
Potentially, but he wouldn't be starting,
He'd be starting if he was on the Lions.
Not if they take his replacement in the first round.
I don't know, man. They're not just if he's coming back, he's playing. Why would he come back not to play?
Why would you take a first round pick who's not going to play? If you're the Lions in a position to win a Super Bowl.
We just said they're going to take a tackle no matter what, even if Decker's back or not. They're not starting the left tackle over Taylor Decker.
Well, I'm saying if we're going to take a tackle no matter what, if he's back or not, then cut him. You get $18 million as well to cut him and have your left tackle start playing right away? Sure. Sign me up. Twice on Tuesdays. That sounds like
or just take the
ideal situation for me. Or both.
I saw that in what's-his-face, Mel Kiper's first mock draft. Had us taking the guard from Penn State, yeah.
I think that'd be a great addition. And what, keeping Taylor Decker, he comes back?
I don't know if that's the situation, but they also had 3 tackles going off the board before the Lions and the dude from Miami going 4th.
Yikes.
So we can just throw that out of us getting him at 17.
I don't know. Mel Kiper did have Shedeur Sanders going 2nd overall last year.
And he still backs Shedeur Sanders. Like, double, triple down on that guy. Good for
It's
Mel
a good
Kiper.
guy to double down on.
Good for Mel Kiper.
989-837-6125. When we come back, we're giving away $100 worth of gas cards thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet for making Big Win Wednesday possible, and thanks to Forward Corporation for giving us the gas cards to give to you guys. That's when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. 10 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Corning, a global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphones to innovations that power clean energy and advanced medicine, Corning is shaping the future. But it's not just about the tech, it's also about the people. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities that are close to home. With a legacy of innovation and commitment to what is next, Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Corning, creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Great Lakes Loons. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. New Year's resolutions, let's stick to them. Want to be more organized? Sterlite brand 15-quart storage totes are $6.99, and select shelving units $79.99 each. Maybe your resolution was to finish that paint job you've been pushing aside. Ace brand paintbrush and trim rollers are 50% off. And make the snow removal process easier. You save $200 instantly on Ego Power Plus snow thrower kits.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh? Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at PremierTileStone.com.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think.
I think if the Pistons trade for Michael Porter Jr., they are winning the Eastern Conference. I think just because the Lions missed the playoffs this season doesn't mean there's any need for big-time changes when it comes to the regime of Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff for that matter. I think every time we see this Michigan basketball team take the floor, we are witnessing one piece of what could be a historic season. And I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon.
We got a game, boys! This week on Sunday Night Football.
Conference Championship Sunday is on the Mitt. The AFC features the New England Patriots and Denver Broncos. The NFC's got the Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks. Our coverage starts at 2 on Sunday, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of. It's hot! Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic Sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, it is 10:16, which means we're 1 minute late. Today we're giving $100 away worth of gas cards. Last week it was Pistons tickets. This week you get to fill up your car for free 2.5 times, 3 times, depending on how big your car, truck, sedan is. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is the key word to text in, which today is car. Like Cohen car. Except that's with 2 R's.
That's with 2 R's. We don't want to confuse the people.
Well, I'll accept either. You can text in car as in Cohen car or car, the vehicle you drive in, for a chance to win gas cards. We'll pick a winner here in the next 15 minutes or so. You guys just got to text. You don't have to be the first person. You don't have to be the last person. You don't have to be the third person. Just text in for a chance to win $100 worth of gas cards. The number is 989-837-6125. Okay, let's keep rolling with this Taylor Decker thing for a second because, we just had a text about it, and I wanted to read that. However, I found it.
Oh, the texts are starting to roll in.
Yeah, the text started rolling, and I think I lost it again. No, I definitely did lose it again. Anyway, I want to move on from Taylor Decker. $18 million you save. I think that's basically a good enough argument on its own. And then you throw into consideration, he's going to weigh this retirement thing. You start thinking about his shoulder, whether or not that's ever going to hold up, other injuries that he's had, the decline in play. I think I'm good on Taylor Decker as a Detroit Lion. Thank you for your service. 10 years you were a Detroit Lion. We couldn't be more thankful for what you've done here. It is time to move on because I have a hard time believing he's going to start playing better than he did last season again, right? Like, I'd be shocked if he, I don't know, I know your career is never linear, but once you kind of start the decline, it's a lot harder to have a bounce-back season, and I wouldn't say he had some incredible season this year, and it kind of already was the bounce-back season. He had 8 sacks the year prior, 8 sacks in 2023, and somehow this year only allowed 2 sacks, but I don't know, it felt like in the biggest games of the year, he was getting beat kind of consistently to get to the backfield.
Yeah, and I also just think that, like, he just probably for sure is retiring, right?
I would imagine so.
You know, I feel like that's kind of what Jimmy in our YouTube chat says. I'm pretty sure he's leaving. I agree with what you guys are saying. Like, I think that's we can discuss, like, what happens if he does want to come back. I just feel like, based off of everything he said, he's for sure retiring. And then it becomes the awkward conversation of, like, when's he going to retire? You know, is it going to be before or after that day where they could cut him first?
Yeah, and I guess I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work against the salary cap if he does decide to retire. I know Frank Ragnow was $3 million in dead cap this season, but I don't know how they got to that number. So if he does decide to retire, I think you're off the books. Maybe you save the $18 million regardless.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Frank Ragnow was never elevated to the active roster when they tried to bring him back, right?
No, I believe he wasn't signed to the practice squad either.
Right,
though.
like that. It never was any official transaction made that he's back on the Lions.
No,
so I just wanted to make sure that dead cap money wasn't because of that, you know. But
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't remember that either.
Because he would still be under contract, so it's not like they'd come up with some new deal.
Right.
Either way, I don't think there's any chance that you can bring back Taylor Decker making $15 million next season, right? That almost seems crazy at this point with a $21 million cap hit because of bonuses and stuff.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I don't think he's playing up to standard to be able to retain that.
Yeah, and especially just for a guy that we don't even know if he's going to be playing. You just can't go through this Ragnow situation again.
Yeah, for the second consecutive offseason. You seem less convinced than I am that it just has to be a tackle in the first round, though.
No, I'm with you. I just think that we know that the Lions don't just draft a position. And if there isn't, these mock drafts I'm seeing, out of like the top 3 guys, it doesn't seem like there's depth at the offensive tackle position in the first round.
Right, which is why I'm saying get aggressive.
I don't disagree, but like I'm just not going to guarantee that the Lions are taking a tackle in the first round. I'm not saying that it's not that what I want. I'm 100% aligned with you. We have been discussing this since like week
November?
10, of the season still, like we were talking about this. And so I'm totally all in on it. I just think that I'm not going to sit here and lock it up that they're taking a tackle in the first round because, once again, how many times has Brad Holmes done what we thought the Lions were going to do in the first round? Once?
Well, it doesn't seem like he's it seems like they're picking guys based on fit and need right now compared to what they did in the offensive coordinator world.
Now, it's also just easy to look at what their needs are and realize, like, whether or not they go best player available or not, what guy is going to come in and start? They have like 3 positions that are come in and start guys. Yeah, they need depth at a lot of different positions.
So does every team.
So does every team, and you're not really drafting for depth in the first round unless you are just this elite roster.
No, and you also had the luxury for a while of just being able to take best player available because your roster wasn't so filled out. And then you once again had the luxury of doing that because your roster was damn near perfect for 2 seasons. Now you are still a Super Bowl contender but have some clear needs. Like, look at what Kansas City's done the last couple of seasons. They needed an offensive lineman in the first round. It was so obvious, they did it. They needed a pass catcher in the first round. It was so obvious, and guess what? They did it. You don't get to just say best player available when you have a gaping hole at left tackle, especially if you know Taylor Decker is going to retire. That's not something you can address during free agency most years, unless you want a very average player at that position. So take a guy in the first round, or roll out Giovanni Manu year 1 and lose your job, or week 1 and lose your job.
Once again, I think that's another guy that they just clearly don't trust. There was a lot of opportunity for him to see the field this year, which he did get injured once he tried to fill in for Taylor Decker. But, like, if they felt anything positively about him, they would have been elated for him to come in for Taylor Decker.
I think that's a draft pick that they regretted basically immediately. Oh, he's a project guy. Oh, he's going to learn under Taylor Decker. It's going to be perfect. What you didn't consider is he's not very good at football. That is somewhat essential for playing in the NFL.
How many times do you think you've talked about Giovanni Manu on this show?
Probably more than any other human on the planet.
I was just going to say, Giovanni Manu is your, like, Boston Celtics Bill Simmons.
Except I hate him.
Just like not, but just not talking about anything related with it, and somehow it still gets brought up. It's so funny.
Yeah, I would be willing to wager a handsome amount of coin that there's not a media person that's talked about Giovanni Manu more than I have. And usually it's to knock Brad Holmes because it's just a terrible draft pick. 989-837-6125. We're going to pick our winner here in just a moment for our giveaway. Again, you got one last chance to text in. Text in CAR to 989-837-6125. And it's your choice whether or not you want to spell out cars in the vehicle or car with 2 R's, as in Cohen car. We'll pick a winner here during this commercial break. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll be right back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Do we have any spray paint?
Why?
I need lots of paint. I'm going to paint the house.
I don't think so.
But it looks bad.
Well, you can't spray paint the house.
And then let's call Bresky Siding and Building Repair. They can do it.
Is your siding looking faded, worn out, or just in need of an update? Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your siding, roofing, and gutter needs.
Winning takes preparation, focus, and the right game plan. At IronStack Technology, we bring that same approach to IT, helping businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next. From cybersecurity to managed IT support, IronStack builds solutions that let you stay focused on your mission, not your technology. IronStack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. Learn more at ironstacktechnology.com.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think.
I think if the Pistons trade for Michael Porter Jr., they are winning the Eastern Conference. I think just because the Lions missed the playoffs this season doesn't mean there's any need for big-time changes when it comes to the regime of Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff for that matter. I think every time we see this Michigan basketball team take the floor, we are witnessing one piece of what could be a historic season. And I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. The High School Hockey Game of the Week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
Thursday night, the Midland Chemics and Dow Chargers will face off at the Midland Civic Arena. It's the first of two matchups this season, with each team trying to crack the top three in the Saginaw Valley. Coverage starts Thursday at 7:20.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the four seasons and four Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We do have our winner. Congratulations to Jaden. You are winning the gas cards. We'll get you some more information in a little bit. Let's continue on with the show. Let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, so in that bold prediction article that we got the Taylor Decker thing from, Lions weren't the only team that were listed. Let's go over some, let's see the exact, some big-time executives making predictions for this offseason.
Big time.
Big time. It's on ESPN.
All right.
Number one, we're starting out with a banger. Ravens trade Lamar Jackson to the Raiders. Wouldn't this be something? The Ravens basically hit the entire reset button. They move on from John Harbaugh and say, you know what, we're good with Lamar Jackson too. We want Fernando Mendoza to be the new face of this franchise. We're going to tear this down to rebuild it. I just think there's too much talent on the team to tear it down from the quarterback, unless, you can get that, I guess maybe this comes down to, if you're going to get the first overall pick, how much more do you realistically get for Lamar Jackson? Because three firsts.
It's the first pick. Yeah.
That's more valuable than just like
a
two
first-round pick.
Yeah. Do you get an extra first? I don't know.
Yeah, you get more than just the first pick.
Or do you just get like 3 second rounders,
it's not like
3 thirds?
Like people are high on Mendoza. It's not like it's Joe Burrow coming out of the draft, you know?
But do you not have to swap this season? Like, I don't. That would be such rare territory. I get why this is a bold prediction.
Yeah, I mean, who are these big-time executives, man? This trade is dumb for the Ravens. Why would they do this?
How many first-round picks do you get? Like,
It depends
that's what I'm
on who
saying.
they're-
If you get multiple first-round picks and the first overall pick, it's not the worst idea.
One, they got to figure out who their coach is going to be. I think that's, like, more important right now because, like, do they want to do a full reset or not? I don't think a head coach wants to come in and trade away their 2-time MVP winning quarterback. You know? I think I'd be kind of out on that if I was wanting to take this head coaching job. And two, this division stinks. Like, why can't you just run it back if you're the Ravens and say, hey, we're not going to have everyone on our team get injured again this season. And this division is bad. I don't know. I would feel like in a pretty fine spot if I'm Baltimore.
Here's how you spin it to the new coach who's being interviewed. We want you to be the long-term coach. We're not going to put you in a situation where you have to win a Super Bowl in the next season. We feel like we're a little bit further away. We're going to trade for the number 1 overall pick, get Mendoza, a ton of more draft capital too, because we're trading Lamar. And we're going to hit a reset button, have a ton of draft assets while being competitive right away because we believe in this Fernando guy.
Rookie QB contract too.
Yeah. It's not the worst idea.
And Tom Brady loves Lamar Jackson, man. Those guys are like super tight. So,
also, he's been dealing with injuries. You're kind of sick of him. You know, you're the ones that's been in the building with him every day, seen him not necessarily be locked in.
I keep forgetting about this whole Ravens owner situation too.
Yeah,
that does kind of create the turmoil.
I don't hate this for the Ravens. I think I like it more for the Ravens than I do the Raiders.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, the Raiders are not in a spot to like, oh, they add a quarterback and they're great, but also like they're not in a spot to add a rookie quarterback and be great either.
No. So you may as well add a good one.
Yeah. You have Tom Brady, man.
I like it. How about this?
Why
Eagles trade A.J. Brown to the Bills.
The Buffalo Bills.
Yes, the Bills of Buffalo.
All right.
I think this is a win-win for basically everybody, right?
Oh, no.
You don't think so?
Look, dude, this is a lose-lose for both teams. You're never trading A.J. Brown at his proper value if you're Philadelphia, ever. Because he's such a head case that any team is going to be like, nah, I could talk myself out of giving up primetime value for A.J. Brown, right?
How about this? He's played his way out of that, too, with all the drops that he's had the last couple of seasons.
Sure. I still think he's still one of the most talented receivers in the league, no doubt. But he just is such a – you just can't –
I don't know, man. I think a lot of guys have passed him.
I mean, what's his value? Is he not worth a late first anymore, an early second?
I think that's about it.
That's a lot to give up. If you're Buffalo, why not? I would just draft a receiver at that point. And then if you're Philly, it's like, why would I trade this guy away who we still think is uber talented for what he's not actually worth?
Honestly, if you can get any sort of first-round pick for A.J. Brown, I would do it.
It is just so funny how every year we just tag the most likely traded receiver to go to Buffalo. Yeah, it's just every offseason.
Well, I mean, when you roll out there with, I mean, James Cook rocks, Josh Allen obviously rocks. He goes into these playoff games and Khalil Shakir's his number one guy. Brandon Cooks, who wasn't in the league 8 weeks ago, is his number one guy.
McCole Hardman caught a touchdown pass, and that was the first time I was legit just like, that McCole Hardman? That guy plays NFL football still, really?
I think this would be a look. If I'm the Eagles, I'm just trying to get rid of him for anybody that would take him. I think if you can get a second rounder for him, so be it.
Okay.
And if you're the Bills, I don't know. You can kind of convince yourself the same way that you did with Stephon Diggs that you can fix him for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Stephon Diggs was certainly not this like.
He wasn't a head case in
proper.
Buffalo.
He wasn't he's not the opposite of that.
No, I mean it grew. Here's if you trade for A.J. Brown, you know you're getting a. You know at some point he's going to get mad. It's just a matter of can you get over the hump before? Yeah. I don't mind that one either.
We'll let you read your books on the sideline, AJ.
Falcons roll with Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. I don't even think this is a bold prediction.
What else are they going to do?
Yeah. This is just what's going to happen.
Yeah. Who else? What is their plan? Michael Penix is coming off of his 8th torn ACL. I'm sorry, Michael Penix. That's rude, but it's just the truth.
What is it actually? His fourth?
It's his fifth major surgery on, I think, but it's been on each leg, so I don't know. It's a lot. You have Stefanski coming in, who you trust as a quarterback mind, and Kirk Cousins is just the vet QB that's under contract for a ton of freaking money. And
they don't have a first-round pick to trade for a quarterback or draft one.
And if I'm Atlanta, I'm not doing this thing because they've just kind of been the team that people are like, whoa, they could take a risk on Malik Willis. I'm not paying a guy who I don't even know is a starting quarterback when you already have two other guys under contract that aren't NFL starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, and one of them is making one of the highest values in the NFL in Kirk Cousins. Just like one of the
$68 million in 2027.
Yeah, just insane. Yeah, no, I'm all set there.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a bold take at all. The next one, Malik Willis to the Dolphins or the Browns.
Oh, we were just talking about him.
I think Malik Willis would be an excellent fit on the Dolphins. If I'm the Browns, I don't really understand
No, he would be an excellent fit on the Browns. He just fits into the names of guys that play quarterback for the Browns. Malik Willis fits that.
Who's just clearly not a franchise quarterback. They'll move on from him at some point.
Yeah.
I like it for the Dolphins just because it's do you really want to watch Quinn Ewers for 18 weeks? You're probably not in a position to draft a quarterback quite yet. Also because there's just not. It seems like there's one first-round quarterback this year, right? Maybe Ty Simpson ends up going in the first round.
Simpson probably just will, just because. But yeah, you're right.
But if I'm the Dolphins, I'm not burning my first-round pick on Ty Simpson if I don't know for sure I love him. So bring in Malik Willis, who's got upside. I don't really think he's going to cost a whole lot. Everyone's making it seem like, oh, he's going to get this massive bang. I don't think so. I really don't. I think this could be could it be like a Daniel Jones situation? Where he hits the ground, it's like, hey, man, this guy's kind of frisky. Not saying they're going to win the AFC, but, you can just be competitive this year.
I don't know. I think I'm out on both of these teams getting Malik Willis. For the Browns, they're just so clearly going to run back Deshaun and Shadur. That's just what they're going to do. They have 2 first-round picks this year, so you could maybe convince yourself that, we're willing to give one of these quarterbacks a shot at our 24th pick that we have. But
whose pick do they have?
Jacksonville's from Travis Hunter.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Which worked out for Jacksonville because they were good. But, the guy who they traded up for didn't play a ton. But for Miami, I don't know. If I'm adding a different quarterback, I'm just trading for Kyler Murray. With all the guys that are, you just said, there's not a lot of these first-round rookie quarterbacks. There also isn't there isn't a big free agent quarterback like there was with Sam Darnold last year. Malik Willis headlines that class. I'm just trading for Kyler Murray. I'm giving up the draft capital to trade for that guy if I'm doing anything at the quarterback spot.
I like Malik Willis to the Jets as well. You just can't roll back either of the two guys you did this year.
Yeah.
Here's the next bold prediction. Colts win the AFC South for the first time since 2014 next year.
Wow, so we're not even doing an off-season hot take.
Nope.
This is just full on next year. When's Daniel Jones coming back?
I'm just going to say no, and I have a 3 out of 4 chance of being right.
That seems fair.
Falcons franchise tag Kyle Pitts Sr. For some reason, I thought he was Kyle Pitts Jr.
He's a senior, I guess. Sure. He had that huge game at the end of the year.
Kirk Cousins seems to like him.
Yeah.
Last one. George Pickens' situation in Dallas gets sticky.
Oh.
I hope so.
It's gonna. It just clearly, it's Jerry Jones dealing with a contract situation, man. When is that ever?
What do we think is going to happen?
This is going to go smooth. It literally never has. They're not going to have a decision made until the week before training camp starts.
And then they're just going to tag him.
Yeah.
Which Dallas is not going to want to tag him. They're going to want to give him an extension.
July 15th would have to be the time where they'd have to make a deal with the tag. So it would be a little bit earlier than preseason starting and stuff.
Oh, I'm sure this will work over smoothly. What
a bold prediction here from these NFL executives. Jerry Jones dealing with a star player's contract is going to go badly. That's bold, man.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. 10 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Corning. You guys can see us live on YouTube, by the way. And you can see the difference at Midland Eye Care, where your vision is their focus, offering comprehensive eye exams, glasses, contacts, and advanced eye health services. Friendly, knowledgeable staff and a wide selection of stylish frames for every face and budget. Locally owned and trusted by families throughout the Midland area while offering comprehensive eye care services and in-demand lenses and frames. Whether you're updating your prescription or checking in on your eye health, they've got you covered. Book your appointment today. Start seeing clear tomorrow. That is Midland Eye Care.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hear that? That's not Goff throwing a touchdown. That's your retirement crossing the goal line. I'm Doug Cellini, your financial quarterback here in Midland. My job is to make sure every part of your financial life works together. As a fiduciary, I'm not tied to one firm's playbook, so you get flexible fees, more choices, and advice built entirely around you. Call Doug Cellini at 989-214-4444, and let's make your financial future a win.
This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
Dreaming of warmer days? Now's the perfect time to start at Maple Hill Nursery. For a limited time, take 30% off all current in-stock outdoor furniture floor models. Our annual January sale to make room for what's next. And what's next is exciting. We're adding Three Birds Casual and Lloyd Flanders to our already fine selection of outdoor furniture, arriving soon. Now's also the best time to place your outdoor furniture order, so it's ready when spring weather hits. Order early, enjoy sooner, and Maple Hill can even store it for you. Maple Hill Nursery. Get ready for outdoor season today.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. This month's recipient is Anyela Eichelberger from Saginaw United. With a 3.99 GPA, Anyela is a two-sport athlete in volleyball and tennis. She serves as a youth ambassador, a stand-up student, and her art is award-winning.
You have art good enough, the teacher will enter your pieces into the show. I did not even know mine was entered into the show. And I actually won 2 awards for the 2 pieces that were entered. The medium I used was color pencil, and it was like a geometric sort of shape. And then the other one was like dot art.
Anyela has been dual enrolled at Delta College in her senior year. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Myth.
So tonight, the Pistons are in action. That's not an abnormal thing to happen. They got 82 games, but they are playing the Pelicans, 9.5-point favorites. Why is that relevant? Because the Pelicans have Trey Murphy, who could be doing somewhat of an audition for the Detroit Pistons. I don't think the Pistons are trading for some superstar. I really don't. There's not really going to be a superstar that's traded at this year's trade deadline like there has been in years past. There's no Giannis being moved. There's no Kevin Durant. There's nothing like that this year. The two top guys that are going to be available, one is Michael Porter Jr. We've talked relentlessly about him. The second is Trey Murphy. Neither of which are stars. It's a good chance that someone who doesn't, tune into the NBA every night doesn't really know who that second person is. Trey Murphy playing against the Pistons tonight. This is a 3-and-D wing, long wingspan. I could have sworn he made an all-defensive team at one point. I was wrong. He hasn't. But he's on the bubble as one of the best perimeter guys in the league with this incredible wingspan. What is he, 6'9"? He's a tall guy.
6'8".
6'8", 38% from three. Your ideal 3-and-D glorified role player who has become borderline more than a role player this season.
I mean, he would
22
be the Pistons,
points a game.
He'd be their second leading scorer. He'd score more than Duren.
Probably. Yeah, probably. I think this is someone that the Pistons need to be willing to overpay in a way. Whoever ends up, because first of all, the Pelicans have already claimed that they're not going to trade him. Okay, whatever. You're the worst team in the Western Conference.
Don't have your pick.
You don't even have your pick this year. Someone can overwhelm you with picks. The Pistons are one of those teams that could do it. Here's Ivy and a few picks. Here's Ivy and Tobias and a few picks. It's that same package. Here's Karis LeVert and they can figure it out. The issue is he's under contract for 4 more seasons, which is a good thing, but it's just going to cost more. And in today's NBA, where people are so desperate to hold on to their first-round picks in this basically salary cap apron era of the NBA, acquiring a guy like this is going to cost multiple first-round picks. And I'm fine with that. I really am. I think this is the sort of addition for the Pistons that could potentially get them over the edge and win the Eastern Conference. You see they're officially the favorites?
To win the East.
To win the East. They are the favorites.
Really? Even after we got that Jason Tatum update a couple days ago.
Last I looked, they were the favorites to win the Eastern Conference. I guess I didn't look this morning, but
that's interesting.
They won their season series against the Celtics, and the Knicks are free falling down the standings right now.
Yeah, them and the Celtics are tied actually right now, plus 330.
Okay, and the Celtics are getting Tatum back. What's the Pistons' move? Trey Murphy, Michael Porter Jr. One of those things. I'm not going to sit here and pound my fist and say it has to happen because, again, they're playing better than everybody right now without any moves being made. But if you could add one of those guys to your lineup, I'd be very invested. I'm already invested. I would tell you, all right, now it's time to seriously take this team as a title contender. I think they can win the East right now. They add either of these two guys, one of which they're playing against tonight if you'd like to tune in. I think we can start talking about this team as a title contender. I texted this to you on Monday, too. I think the Pistons they're officially like the team that's the second most likely, probably the most likely team to win a title in Detroit next. You thought it was the Tigers.
Like to win it first, you're saying?
To win it first. Yeah. How can they not be right now?
Right.
They're Detroit's best chance to win a ring in the next 365 days.
I think it's fair. My only take on the Tigers was that I just think that like they're best suited to win it this year rather than the Pistons are. The Pistons have like just if they don't win it this year, they're going to have a good chance next year. And then they're going to have a good chance. That's what they have going for them. My whole take was just that, like, I don't think they're going to beat OKC. And then I just think the Tigers have the best chance to win it this specific season. After this year, they don't have Tarek Skubal, blah, blah, blah.
See, OKC's kind of lost their whistle, though. They're not getting as many fouls right now, which has become a storyline across the NBA, that they're not getting the same whistle that they did last season. I think
Still
that problem
awesome
only
defense.
gets... Yes, still an awesome defense, the only defense that's rated better than the Pistons. I think they lose their whistle even more come the postseason, because people are really going to be having it under a microscope, and they're not going to get that, the ridiculous offensive foul or the fouls that Shea draws for himself. I don't know if he's getting that next postseason. I think people are sick of it, which makes me think they're beatable.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, if the Pistons can win the East, why can't they win the finals? Anything can happen once you get there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're officially in first, especially if they make one of these deals.
And if you don't know who Trey Murphy is and you're out on the Pistons making any big moves, watch tonight. I mean, the guy's almost 50, 40, 90 this year. Like, that's the thing about Porter's the better player. Murphy is going to cost more, though.
Mm-hmm.
And Porter's only the better player this season. Like, he wasn't the better player a year ago. Murphy does bring a little bit more to the table. He fits a role more than Michael Porter Jr. does. But Porter's just like he's on a different level of shooter.
S-tier shooter.
Yeah.
One of the best in the league.
Exactly. And that's just what no one's really on his level, just from the way that he does it. Obviously, he's not like Steph Curry, but just the way that he is a catch-and-shoot shooter, he's kind of in his own stratosphere. But Murphy's right there. I mean, he's great. Like we said, 39% on 8 attempts per game. He's in this weird situation where, like, the Pelicans had so many wings, they traded Brandon Ingram so that Murphy could get a bigger role. Like, that's how good he was. And I wouldn't want to trade him either. Like, I think it's valid that New Orleans is like, well, he's on a good contract. We don't have our pick, so we don't even want to be any worse than we already are, which they already are so bad that it doesn't matter. I wouldn't really want to trade him either. There's plenty of other guys I'd want to move on the Pelicans before him. But like you said, the Pistons are in a unique spot where they own all their picks. And you saw the Magic throw away 4 first-round picks this offseason for Desmond Bane. Like, that's something that the Pistons are capable of doing if they want to. I just don't get that sense from Trajan Langdon, right? I mean, everything that he has said, he hasn't been like this big, I'm willing to do something crazy.
I don't think we know anything that Trajan Langdon's thinking ever. He doesn't. He doesn't speak, and when he does, he gives the most minimalistic answers you can think of.
He works in silence. And we also, though, probably didn't expect the Pistons to be 31-10 halfway through the season.
Right.
That changes it changes the course of action a ton. I bet Tom Gores wants to be aggressive. I can guarantee that. He's probably talking about stuff like this as far as just like trying to win a championship.
Yeah, time will tell what they end up doing. The fact that we're a little over 2 weeks away from the trade deadline.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. It's an issue and a good thing that regardless, I feel like they're going to win the 1 seed, even if they don't make any moves. They're kind of in that rare can do no wrong territory. Like, it feels like they're just going to obliterate everybody the rest of the season. And even if they lose a game, their defense is so good, it doesn't really feel like they're capable of losing multiple games in a row. I mean, they couldn't score versus the Celtics. And they still pulled out a win because their defense was so shut down for 4 straight quarters. I think they're going to be the 1 seed. So even if they don't make a trade, it's not really going to come to fruition, if it even does, until the postseason rolls around.
Yeah.
And if they're lacking another shooter, then we're going to be upset about it.
I'm reading this article from The Athletic that came out yesterday, and it's just like an update on the trade buzz in the NBA. And unfortunately, there's a spot in here that says the Pelicans have repeatedly toured multiple teams they're not going to trade: Zion, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Derek Queen, or Jeremiah Fears. So yes, the first 10-win team in NBA history to have 5 untouchable players.
Someone could overwhelm them. There's no way that they're all untradeable.
Right.
It's just impossible for you to think that highly of your own guys.
I think the Pelicans legit have just like this season for them. They've already moved on. Like, we're not doing anything. This season's over. Like, let's just get to the offseason.
Well, they're going to be lucky if they still have a franchise in New Orleans in a couple of years, I would say. I mean, it's a mess. It always has been. 20 years. But anyway, Pistons are 9.5-point favorites tonight.
Yeah.
I think the Pistons kind of destroy them in the paint. Pelicans, terrible defensive team. They've got Derek Queen. You guys remember him from college last season. He's hit the ground running in the NBA. They've got Zion, too. He can't guard anybody. They have no rim.
Is Zion playing? You never know.
He's supposed to. But to your point, you never really know. They have no rim protection. They have no paint presence. I kind of expect Duren and Cade's pick and roll to dominate tonight. So
they're a bad team. See what the Pistons did to the bad team in Indiana Pacers the other night.
They're a bad team, but they have a strange amount of talent.
They have 5 untouchable players.
Yeah. 989-837-6125 is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. Live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live here on 100.9. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. 11 o'clock hour on the way. More on the Detroit Lions and them moving on from Mike McDaniel as a candidate. Next.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season, and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
They know the roads, they know the weather, and they know the community. That's because Forward Energy is fueled by local people who serve the same areas that they live in. Through every sports season and every weather season, they're proud to be on the home team. From automatic deliveries to flexible payment options, Forward Energy makes it easy to stay comfortable all year long. Forward Energy, your hometown propane and fuel supplier since 1925.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think.
I think if the Pistons trade for Michael Porter Jr., they are winning the Eastern Conference. I think just because the Lions missed the playoffs this season doesn't mean there's any need for big-time changes when it comes to the regime of Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff for that matter. I think every time we see this Michigan basketball team take the floor, we are witnessing one piece of what could be a historic season. And I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes lose.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Michigan needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
So the Lions decide we're all set on Mike McDaniel, the same way they were all set on adding an edge rusher across from Aiden Hutchinson. The same way they were all set during the draft the last couple of years. We know what we're doing. We don't need to draft based on needs. We're gonna take best player available. We think Sione Vaki's best player available. We think this guy's really gonna help our special teams. Whatever, man. I think sometimes Brad Holmes' pride gets in the way. I think sometimes Brad Holmes' ego gets a little bit in the way. And this culture that they've created and the tremendous amount of success, like credit to him, tremendous amount of success that the Lions had in such a short amount of time, in a way I think sometimes gets to Brad Holmes and he feels almost invincible. Like every move he makes is going to work out. We've seen some massive catastrophic failures the last couple of years. Ennis Rakestraw comes to mind. Giovanni Manu comes to mind. Miles Frazier comes to mind. That's just the draft. Bringing back Glasgow ended up being a mistake as well. Are we going to look back and think to ourselves, not signing Mike McDaniel to be the offensive coordinator and essentially telling him, not a good fit. Thanks for coming in and interviewing. We're all good. Is that going to be something that we look back upon at the end of next season? After a full year of Drew Petzing and watching Mike McDaniel from a distance out in Los Angeles, is that something that we are going to regret doing? I fear the answer could be yes. Now, Brad Holmes has a chance to make up for all of it if he just fixes the offensive line, starts going balls to the walls, gets super aggressive in the draft, gets an offensive tackle in the first round. Who knows? It gets a guard in the second, and all of a sudden this offensive line is completely rebuilt. Taylor Decker ends up getting cut. They sign a center with that extra $18 million. Drew Petzing's life's going to be pretty awesome if he does all that stuff and hits a home run in terms of how he rebuilds this offensive line this offseason. However, if he doesn't do that, and we're asking Drew Petzing to kind of elevate players, there's not really a ton of evidence that he can do that. I mean, he did it with Brissett. I guess there a little bit is with Brissett and Michael Carter, who we didn't really think were going to have these incredible seasons. And then obviously the tight end too, Trey McBride. So maybe there is a little bit of evidence that he can do that. But I mean, if I'm watching Mike McDaniel and Justin Herbert and Harbaugh absolutely tear up the AFC next year, yeah, then I'm going to be pissed.
From the fit thing, did they think John Morton was a good fit? You know, like that's the part that I'm like a little bit concerned about, because if they,
great point,
I question their fit beliefs, you know, because clearly they thought John Morton was a great fit. That guy threw a screen pass on 3rd and 10 every single time. You know, that guy didn't give Jameson Williams the football
after repeatedly saying he was going to.
How is that a good fit? So that's the part that I'm worried about. It's not even the fact that like, oh, Drew Petzing, I'm out on him. I'm just out on like,
I like Drew Petzing.
Is the ideology behind their hiring of these coordinators just off, you know?
And honestly, Kyle, here's the thing. John Morton was a terrible hire. So was Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn was in my Twitter notifications this morning. What was up with him? He just got a job somewhere, I think, right?
He was interviewing to be a head coach somewhere too. I read this as well. I forget
He's a finalist for the Bills coaching job.
Oh my God, yeah, that's right. I saw that at like 6 a.m. I couldn't believe it. But Lions fans, like, don't forget about that one. That was a bad hire too, and that shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, but that's way in the past. That's now twice. In 3 different times that they had to find an offensive coordinator, twice that it totally failed. Between Lynn, who was fired in the middle of his first season, and Morton, who was not fired, but soft fired in the middle of his first season as well. Ben Johnson was just here, right? It's not like you had to do some external search for Ben Johnson. He was just here. The 2 times you had to do an external search, miserable fail.
Well, in the Anthony Lynn thing, too, it shows that they've at least had the capability, because we talked about like just bringing in a guy that's been a play caller or head coach somewhere else for just has the experience of doing it, and yet they go with the kind of under the radar guy with John Morton and with Drew Petzing. Anthony Lynn was coming off of being a head coach, so it's not like they just don't do that. So it's like if their whole excuse for Mike McDaniel was like, oh well, he could get a head coaching job somewhere else. What, you don't think if Anthony Lynn came to the Lions and rocked out that he wasn't going to get another chance? Like, I don't know. I just think that their thought process, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I certainly am questioning it.
How can you not?
Yeah.
There's been multiple failures, and they essentially publicly told Mike McDaniel, we'd rather go with someone else because we think they're a bigger fit. The more concerning part about that was the part of the Jeff Darlington report where he said, well, Dan Campbell actually really liked Mike McDaniel. What? Dan Campbell liked him, but the Lions didn't think he was a good fit. Is there some sort of crack between the Brad Holmes-Dan Campbell relationship? Is this an ownership thing? Is this someone stepping in and being like, no, we're going to run the football smash mouth style, not this east to west style that Mike McDaniel has somewhat adopted? We don't really have the answers, and odds are we're never going to get the answers because the Lions keep things close to the chest. But I think sometimes you just sometimes, again, the pride and the ego gets aside. It's like, no, we're going to do things our way. We want someone who's going to do things our way, do exactly as we tell them, rather than bring in someone with a really creative mind that could maybe challenge Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell in the way that they think about the offense, because Mike McDaniel would have done that. I mean, he was the most talented, sought-after offensive coordinator this cycle for a reason. Drew Petzing was not one of those players, not one of those candidates for a reason. I'm not going to sit here and tell you because we didn't know who Drew Petzing was means he's going to be a failure. I like some of the things that I've read about this guy. I'm also not going to pretend like I knew who it was. We all knew who Mike McDaniel was, not for no reason, but because he was an S-tier hire for whoever got him as their offensive coordinator. And it's a little concerning that the Lions said, we don't like the fit. It's concerning.
It's extremely concerning. It just, especially when you look at their previous history of the guys that they've had to hire, and like you said with Ben Johnson, he'd been with Dan Campbell since his days in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a guy that he had been with for a long time. And somehow we've gone this whole show without mentioning the biggest point that I didn't like yesterday was that this guy, Drew Petzing, is Ben Johnson's best friend.
So weird, dude. Do they want to beat Ben Johnson with his, is this an example of, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Of bringing in someone who's so close to Ben Johnson that they feel like they can get inside his head? I don't know. That part to me is weird, and I can't shake it.
It's almost as weird as the ball, the big giant head. It's almost as bad as it, but I just can't.
He does have a big head.
Man, it's so big. Yeah, I mean, this is, and like I said, I don't like this situation, at all. I find it uncomfortable because the Lions have been good under Brad Holmes. Better than they've been maybe ever, but just for this stretch in a long time. And now there's this divide between the fans and Brad Holmes just because, and I think this is fair, Nick in our YouTube chat says it feels like he has the impression that he doesn't like the fans. That's why he says the things like we're good and does the opposite what the fans think. And when they ask him about the edge rusher, he's like, well, do the fans not realize that, no teams have two good edge rushers?
Yeah, almost talking to all the media in that day as if they were dumb.
Yeah, right. And he kind of gives that impression sometimes. But I don't want the fans to hate Brad Holmes because he's done a lot of good for the Lions, a ton of good. So that and now this hire in Drew Petzing, it's are some of the fans almost going to be rooting against him just to prove themselves right versus Brad Holmes, And I dislike that whole relationship.
Well, I agree that Brad Holmes deserves just as much credit as he does flack for all you got to take every move individually and then add them all up. I still think there's been more good than bad with Brad Holmes. The issue is there almost seems to be now some evidence to your point of why would we need to add another edge rusher and talking to the media that day as if they were stupid? Does he see the criticism and almost be like, no, we're actually going to do it this way on purpose to prove everyone wrong? Are they still?
I sure hope not. That's some that's some
bad.
Nick Sirianni pettiness type stuff there.
And I don't want to go as far as to saying that that's what's happening. You could kind of make a case though. And in some departments, he's been right. For example, the edge rusher across from Hutchinson. They've kind of just got production out of that spot, whether it's James Houston or Al-Quadin Muhammad, even though they don't have the long-term solution there. Can they pull it off again? Pull another rabbit out of their butt? Maybe. I don't know. For the stuff like the Sione Vaki pick's insane to this day. We're going to take a special teams guy. I just think sometimes he hears the criticism and is like, we're going to do the opposite of what people want us to do for the sake of proving that we can do it our own way. It would be crazy if that's what he was actually doing, but it does feel like that in a way sometimes, right?
Yeah, it totally does.
That's my biggest concern. And the fact that the report said Dan Campbell really liked Mike McDaniel, but the Lions didn't. What? What do you mean?
Yeah, the guy that's going to be working with him the most?
That guy liked him? So why is he not the coach? Someone tell me. I don't understand. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll take your Mitt messages on this in just a moment. 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Yiter Insurance. Life happens so fast. And at Yiter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto, business, and life insurance, Yetter is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people that you can actually talk to. Yetter Insurance Group will be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
At Scott Family Dental, we treat every patient like family because it's in our name. Our office culture is built on trust, comfort, and care, just like you'd want for your own loved ones. We don't sign contracts with insurance companies, so we can offer the highest quality dental care without compromise. That means your treatment is based on what's best for you, not an insurance plan. Scott Family Dental, compassionate care, lasting smiles.
Visit scottfamdental.com to schedule today.
Hi, this is Kurt Yeiter from Yeiter Insurance Group. When the calendar flips, we all have new goals, new adventures, and new things to protect. At Yeiter Insurance Group, your hometown auto owners insurance agency, they're here to help you enter the new year fully covered. New car, new home, or simply wanting peace of mind for your family. Yeiter's team offers one-on-one guidance to match you with the auto owner's coverage that fits your life. Call Yeiter Insurance Group or visit our website for a free coverage review. Yeiter Insurance Group, your friend in the insurance business.
Do we have any spray paint?
Why?
I need lots of paint. I'm gonna paint the house.
I don't think so.
But it looks bad.
Well, you can't spray paint the house.
And then let's call Brexy Siding and Building Repair. They can do it.
Is your siding looking faded, worn out, or just in need of an update? Call me, Derek Bresky at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your siding, roofing, and gutter needs.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think.
I think if the Pistons trade for Michael Porter Jr., they are winning the Eastern Conference. I think just because the Lions missed the playoffs this season doesn't mean there's any need for big-time changes when it comes to the regime of Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff for that matter. I think every time we see this Michigan basketball team take the floor, we are witnessing one piece of what could be a historic season. And I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon.
We got a game, boys! This week on Sunday Night Football.
Conference Championship Sunday is on the Mitt. The AFC features the New England Patriots and Denver Broncos. The NFC's got the Los Angeles Rams and Seattle Seahawks. Our coverage starts at 2 on Sunday, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
If you served, we want you to get the health care and benefits you earned. We want you to come to VA.
There's never been a better time to apply. Under a new law called the PACT Act, we've expanded VA care and benefits to millions of people who served and their survivors.
No matter where you served or how long you served, check out va.gov/PACT to learn more about what VA can do for you and your family. Come to VA.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Let's see what the people have to say about this one. 989-837-6125. I ask two questions. Is Brad Holmes getting in the Lions' way? And is there a crack between Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell? It's reported that Dan Campbell liked the coaching. There's not really any evidence that Brad Holmes is like outruling Dan Campbell. I don't really think that's what's going on. But it's just weird reporting from Jeff Darlington that, well, yeah, Campbell really liked Mike McDaniel, but the Lions didn't see it as a right fit. Okay, what does that really mean then? I don't think we're going to find out anything more. I think speculation is fair in this case. 989-837-6125. Let's look at the Mitt messages here. Cody says the guy had one good draft and has done nothing in free agency, but bring an injured or injury-prone injured or injury-prone discounted players that don't produce. Marcus Davenport comes to mind, obviously. I think it's tough for them to really do awesome stuff in free agency when they're paying everyone. Like, that's not really something I'll knock Brad Holmes for, is they're paying all of their own guys, so it's going to be difficult for them to bring dudes in. I think the DJ Reed signing is fine. Obviously didn't play great to end the year, but I think that was more so because the safeties got hurt. I like the moves around the edge. He brings in Al-Quadin Muhammad, produces, brings in Roy Lopez, produces, brings in Amik Robertson, produces. But you're right, he's never going to have a big-time superstar in free agency. And they've also hit on more than just one draft class. Come on.
Esco says Emmanuel Mosley, too, by the way. In there. That's a good one. Good pull.
That's a great callback. What, that went on for 3 years too long?
Hey, he was going to be the starting nickel.
Like 3 years in a row.
Poor guy, though. I feel bad for him.
Mosley? I don't think he ever suited up again.
I feel bad for Mosley, yeah.
Dan says, I get why Holmes gets questioned, and I personally do not like his attitude, but he also put together the best team that we've ever had that's still loaded with Pro Bowl caliber players. All true.
That's probably the best text or chat we've gotten about Brad Holmes. I think that perfectly encapsulates both sides of how the fans feel about Brad Holmes. Like, even if you dislike everything that's happened in the last year with him, you have to recognize the good he's done for this team.
For sure.
You know? Like, you can't just be blind to that. But also, you can't just be blind to the way things have gone in the last year. So I think that's perfect.
I think this texter's right, though, that it's not necessarily the moves in his, it's not his process that I necessarily hate or his actual transactions. It's the attitude he has where it's almost like, well, duh, like I'm going to figure everything out. I'm the smartest guy here. None of you could do my job. Okay, yeah, but that's not our job. Our job's to talk about your job. And you seem to not be doing like the simple things of bringing in the best offensive coordinator. Again, I'm not going to sit here and bang my fist and tell you I don't like the Drew Petzing hire because it's not Mike McDaniel. I like Drew Petzing. Let's separate that. You had a guy come interview for you. He is by far the best candidate that's available. There's a reason everyone knows his name, not just because he was a former head coach, but because everyone viewed him as the best offensive coordinator available. You told that guy I'm set and hired someone that nobody wanted. That alone should raise red flags.
And the fact that your head coach wanted him. That's the part to me that I just can't get behind. Like, the head coach, if he likes the guy for the offensive coordinator spot, it should end there. Boom, you're hired. Just like that. That's what Nick in our YouTube chat says. Why does anyone but the head coach and the owner have any veto power on the coaching staff? Like, it should just be up to Dan Campbell, who the rest of his coaching staff is, right? He's the guy that's working with them.
That's what Donna Parker says, pretty sure MCDC has the final say on the coaching staff. Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
The report, though, doesn't really support that, you know? I mean, he probably does, but maybe he just got talked out of it.
Jordan says Brad Holmes is the smartest man in the room. That's why he does so well in the middle rounds of the draft after all the top-name talent is gone. Do we still get to say that? It's kind of been a couple years since he's landed one of those day 3 guys.
Yeah. Tesla?
Yeah, okay, you're right. No,
I mean,
Tesla's...
Maybe.
Tesla is such a difficult one to talk about.
Really is.
The stats are fine. The 6 touchdowns is good, but...
Just didn't really play a lot, yeah.
No. Kenneth says, everyone knows that if Detroit signed McDaniel, he would have been gone as soon as he was offered a head coaching job, probably next season. Brad Holmes knows that. After the turnover of coaches, I'm sure that was part of the decision-making.
I could see it.
That's more logical reasoning than he just didn't fit with us. But I still don't like that method of thinking because now you're chasing Super Bowls. Like, you were on the path to the Super Bowl. You got kicked off it. Teams passed you. You got to get back on the express lane of the Super Bowl. Mike McDaniel would have done that. It's not time to wait around anymore.
Here's a theory I haven't heard yet.
Sure.
Jesse hitting us with I'm sticking with, I believe Dan Campbell felt threatened by the possibility of McDaniel replacing him as head coach in the future.
If Dan Campbell truly felt threatened, then everything we've ever known about Dan Campbell is a lie.
Yeah, has he ever felt threatened in his life?
No.
Look at him.
I don't believe
this at all. You think he was threatened by the guy that looks like Mike McDaniel?
No, I think that's a good theory. Like, round of applause for coming up with that one. But there's no way Dan Campbell feels insecure enough about his job status that would be the reason that they don't bring him in.
Yeah.
Ever. Mark says, my first question in the interview with McDaniel would be, are you committed to the team for at least 2 seasons? He would most likely be gone after next year. If that's the case, move on. Okay, so people are really like about this. I don't know if maybe I'm in the minority in this. I would just rather chase the Super Bowl this season, like, and kind of have that be your mentality going forward. Chase the Super Bowl, not the long-term play anymore.
But then you're starting to get into window talk, though. That's basically what that is.
Wayne says Brad Holmes is arrogant and doesn't like to be wrong. He's wasting the Lions' talent and window by not making significant moves to help the talent.
Strong words from Wayne.
Very strong words from Wayne. It does a little bit feel more like right now than any year in the past. He's going to be arrogant about this. He's not going to put his pride aside. He's going to want to do things his way. We did this based on the culture. It's something that I built just as much as Dan Campbell. I'm the reason for the Lions' success. I'll be the reason we get over the hump. I don't need any suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sometimes they're not suggestions. Sometimes it's just the best thing to do. And I feel like the Mike McDaniel hire was simply just the best thing to do. And he got told it too many times and then decided he was good.
I don't want to do what the fans want, right?
Yeah.
Which I doubt he's that tapped into, like.
He brings it up in his press conferences,
right.
man.
That's
he
a good
does.
point. No,
he
you're
sees
right.
what we
That's
talk
true.
about.
That's true. That's a good point.
Maybe he doesn't consider it,
Yeah.
but he sees it, and he likes to keep the receipts on it for sure.
John in the YouTube chat says, I'd still happily take Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes on my poverty New York Giants. Just kidding. I just made that up. You didn't say that.
That's good.
Sorry, John.
That's good, Kyle. Did he actually say something or no?
Did he? He said, if Kelvin Shepard is getting interviews, why wouldn't a successful Petzing get it?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess that's true
to get a
as
head
well.
coaching job next season, yeah.
I think the reason Shepard was getting, I guess he got a single interview, was the players just love him. Like, they rave about the culture building aspect of him. I don't get that sense from Petzing at all. It's not like Kelvin Shepard was getting interviews based on his
watch
scheme.
Kelvin Shepard on the sideline, man. That guy rocks.
He was getting interviews based on his press conferences, him on the sideline, how much his players like him, not because of his scheme. He does have the best press conferences of any of the coordinators and head coach. Man, they're so electric. All right, let's do one or two more Mitt messages here. Steven says, anyone who doesn't think Brad Holmes is good at running the Lions makes me so glad they're not the one running this team. Basically coming in to defend Brad Holmes a little bit. Look, I don't think anyone thinks he's bad at his job. There is just some deficiencies. And I feel like him seeing the criticism, like, it'd be best if Brad Holmes just never hopped online and saw what we were saying. Because I feel like he looks at it and is like, well, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing what the fans want. You should see the moves we tried to make. I don't know, man. This does feel a lot like him kind of being in the way. I'm starting to talk myself into it.
Yeah, I mean, they've just reached a weird spot where it's like, you gave the stat out yesterday, right? The QB coach combos. It's like year 5, year 6.
You got to win a Super Bowl within the first 5 years
Yeah.
of a coach quarterback combo.
And this is like, I think this is put really well too. Where are you, Dad? In the YouTube chat says, I think the Lions are riding a fine line by balancing being frugal to keep the Super Bowl window open for many years and years to come, and also trying to spend the big money where they know they need to win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, they're just in a weird spot right now.
Which is essentially banking on just luck the rest of the way. If you're not going to go all in, but you want to extend your window, like you're basically just hoping you get lucky one of these years. And maybe it's next year when you have a 4th place schedule. Who knows? Things break for you, but we'll see what happens with this team. All right, 989-837-6125. Appreciate all the text messages there. If you guys want to send more in, maybe we'll get to those to close out this show. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. Live on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Facebook as well. Give us a follow on there. Hey, the seasons are changing. Sun's kind of coming out right now. Maple Hill Nursery, no matter what season.
They change faster, man?
Maple Hill Nursery, no matter what season it is, they're hard at work for you. They offer professional snowplowing and keep your driveway clear, plus spring and fall cleanup to get your yard looking best year round. When the things eventually warm up, their mowing services Keep your lawn in top shape all summer long, from winter to spring and everything in between. Maple Hill Nursery, your all-season lawn landscape partner right here in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the My Pros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness, now I think it's been probably 4 years ago.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
Blazy Electric is saying thank you to their customers with 10% off all service calls now through at least the end of January. Whether it's a small fix or a bigger electrical need, their trusted service team is ready to help. Just make sure your service call is completed within 30 days of your estimate to take advantage of the savings. For 60 years, Blazy Electric has proudly powered our community with reliable, honest service, and they couldn't have done it without you. Call Blazy Electric today and let them take care of the rest.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. If you are a business or a nonprofit organization wondering how to navigate today's technologies landscape, let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
Need a unique, versatile space for your next event? From the moment you arrive at Dow Diamond, it's easy to see how it's more than just a baseball stadium. With private areas for groups as small as 30 to large-scale events for 300 plus, even full-service catering, Dow Diamond has you covered. From trade shows, corporate meetings and seminars to holiday parties, high school proms, and weddings, book Dow Diamond for your next event. Just call 989-837-2255 or visit DowDiamondEvents.com.
The High School Game of the Week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
Thursday night, the Midland Chemics and Dow Chargers will face off at the Midland Civic Arena. It's the first of 2 matchups this season, with each team trying to crack the top 3 in the Saginaw Valley. Coverage starts Thursday at 7:20.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Michigan, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. We'll get to more Brad Holmes, Mike McDaniel. Is Brad Holmes in the way? Big ego, big head from Drew Petzing. Almost called him Dan Penn. Yeah, Drew Petzing, big head. Let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, breaking news. Dan Campbell
Oh, no.
Brad Holmes have scheduled a fight against each other.
Yes.
Just kidding. We'll see, though,
Who
if
would
this
win?
is a little...
Probably Dan,
Who
right?
would win? Come on, man. Dan Campbell would beat up, like, everybody.
I don't know if he's the number one coach anymore, though.
As far as to win a fight?
Yeah, I don't think he is anymore. I think Vrabel's now.
See, Vrabel
number
actually
one.
be getting in fights.
That's what
with
I'm
his
saying.
own players, yeah.
And he's younger, I think, than Dan. I think Dan Campbell's
Robert
also had a
Saleh,
ton of.
now that he's back as a head coach,
Yeah.
little fearful of him.
Dan also has had like a ton of surgeries, even like recently with his knee and
Right.
stuff. I think, Saleh might be one.
Got to toss in, too, by the way. I don't know if anybody saw Holly Campbell, you follow her on Instagram. Great follow. The incognito Dan Campbell at the DMV.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was pretty funny.
Also, can I just throw out McVay? Like, I feel like McVay.
To win a fight?
How tall is Sean
even
McVay?
he's short, man. Like, he's not Drew Petzing short, but, like...
No one's Drew Petzing short. He's 5'10". He's
okay, I thought he was
huge, though.
shorter. I thought he was shorter than that, actually.
He is buff.
Who's worst fighter coach in the league?
I
Like,
would have said Gannon.
Would never win a fight. No, I mean, Pete Carroll would be the pick last year. It's got to be an old guy. But who else would it be now? I mean, Andy Reid?
Yeah.
But he could just, like,
It might be
plop
Andy
over
Reid.
on somebody.
That's insane. But I don't know. I feel like you could gas Andy Reid pretty easily.
Who like John Harbaugh now, maybe? He's pretty
John
old.
Harbaugh's pretty old. If Mike McDaniel actually is somewhat of an athlete. Have you seen that video of him running routes? He's kind of fast.
No, I haven't. All right, let's get off of this topic here. We gotta wait. Oh, McDaniel, somebody said would lose in a fight. He's not a head coach though, so.
Who's the oldest? It's Andy Reid for sure, right?
I think so. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's Sean Payton. Nah, I feel like he's still got
I think
a
he
little
would
left
beat
in
Andy
him.
Reid.
Also, D'Amico Ryan, we kind of just
Ooh,
skipped.
that's a good one. He'd be a top 5 probably.
Yeah. A lot of good
Linebacker.
candidates.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Okay, let's actually talk about the news, huh? We talked about the New York Knicks. Man, they have been in a major skid in the NBA. Good thing for the Pistons. They have lost 9 of their last 12 games. They're 25-18 right now, so they're tied for 3rd. And Jalen Brunson called for a players-only meeting the other day. Oh, God. Everybody's
that
3
never goes
favorite
well.
words in the NBA. The players-only meeting, man. They always seem to do so much and really spark
First year
a
their head
turnaround.
coach.
There's been a little bit of talk about Karl Anthony Towns lately for the Knicks. Like, maybe they would entertain the idea of trading him. I don't necessarily think so. For the Pistons' sake, though, we still don't want the Knicks to... Like, we don't want them to continue falling where all of a sudden they're the 4 or 5 seed, right? We don't want to play them in the second round.
This is our mortal enemy right now in the NBA, and yet somehow we're in a situation where it's like, you guys have actually fallen off a cliff so hard that we need you to start winning again. I don't want them to be the 4 seed. That's the last team I want to see in the second round. Ideally, the Knicks and the Celtics are the 2 and 3 seed, and they play each other in the second round. The Pistons get somebody else as the 4 seed, maybe the Raptors. That'd probably be the most ideal.
That's who it is right now.
But they'd have to win a playoff series for that to be the case. If the Knicks keep free falling and we got to play them in the second round, I'm going to be pissed about it.
Keep Cleveland out of being the 4 or 5. Cleveland stay at the 6 or 7 seed. And then keep the Knicks as the 3 seed. What if the Cleveland falls to the 8 seed?
That would be
round 1?
so awful.
That'd be really bad.
That would suck.
That'd really be bad. Hopefully that doesn't
That's
happen.
the least. The
Or if,
team I
like-
want to see the least.
Or if, like, Milwaukee crept their way back in and was the 8 seed.
I don't
with
want to see them
Giannis.
either, to be honest.
Yeah, we got a lot of time. We're only halfway through the season, so a lot of time for these standings. But just kind of wanted to give an update since the Knicks have not been playing the best basketball lately. Baseball news, Lewis Robert, who has been kind of the only bright spot of the White Sox last couple of years, despite him not having a good year last season for Chicago, has been traded to the Mets. So the Mets were not able to get Kyle Tucker. They pivot, head to Chicago, and trade for Luis Roberts. So he'll be out of the AL Central. All right. We were talking about how bad the college football playoff game, national championship game, it was so late, right? January 19th, super late into the year. This isn't news or anything, but I just wanted to inform the people that, well, next year, the college football national championship, it's going to be on a week later. It's January 25th of 2027. That's when it's scheduled for. So a year from now, right now, we're sitting here doing the show. We haven't even had the national championship game yet. Now, obviously, the updated college football playoff,
I was just
don't
going to
know,
say.
but I think this day is set in stone because it's going to be at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. I don't think they can change the day of this game.
Yeah, because usually you got to schedule that for like concert purposes and
Of
just
course.
the stadium
and just
itself.
events in general, yeah. An NFL team plays there.
You know how I feel about college football right now. It's just not the same sport as it was I grew up with, and I don't think it's for the better. Some people would disagree. We'll see what they do, because you said Friday's the deadline for the new format of the college football playoffs.
Unless they somehow push it back, which I don't think they can. I think this was like the latest date that they had to come to a decision.
Well, they were supposed to come to a decision on like December 2nd and have just been delaying it ever since.
But I think this is like they have to do it by Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
It's like the start of the new season or something.
And then who knows what's going to happen. 14 teams, I would imagine, is the way that we go. But if you're going to do 14, why not just do 16?
No.
Then you don't get the buys, I suppose. Yeah, 14 is probably the answer.
14 is probably the answer. I think some sort of buy or just anything to incentivize conference championship weekend needs to be incentivized. Because conference championship weekend this year was the most pointless thing ever.
Conference championship,
and it used to be awesome,
should only apply to the Big Ten and SEC schools.
I disagree.
For getting a first-round bye.
The Big 12 just can't be like that discounted, right? Or even the ACC.
No, I think it can.
I mean, Miami went to the national championship.
You can have one great team. That doesn't make your conference better than the other ones.
Fair, and each team only had one great team, or each conference. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I just think that, so should the two buys, if they did 14, the two buys just go to...
Wait, would there be two
the
buys?
Winner of the Big, there would be two buys, and there'd be 6 games in the first round.
But then there'd be 8 teams left, right?
Yeah, 8 teams left for quarterfinals, yeah. It would just add an extra round.
Or is it double buys and you kind of have to play your way in?
Maybe double buys. It may probably, they might do it. Yeah, because they would have to add a whole nother round if they added 2 teams to do it the way I said, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see. No, that wouldn't. No, okay, I see now. Yeah. I think it'd be a play-in. The 14 and...
Oh, like just the bottom 4 teams or something have to play in.
Yeah, basically bracket their way into it, like the play-in game for...
Yeah. See, I was mapping it out as like how the NFL playoffs is, because that's 14 teams, where the top 2 seeds get to bye, and then you go from there.
But I do think it should be reseeded every single round.
You think so?
Yeah. The same way the NFL is.
Yeah.
If you get the 1 seed, you should
just
just
fill out
play
a bracket that way, though,
That's okay.
Takes away the bracket aspect of it all.
That's okay, I think.
Oh, okay. Let's do one more thing here in the news. We've heard all that, man. We're talking about how bad college football is. Well, college basketball is having all their own issues with these guys coming out of the NBA, wanting to play college basketball. So yesterday, former Alabama big man, he was really good there, Charles Bediako, from a couple years ago. He entered the 2023 NBA draft. He played in the G League this season, didn't play in the NBA.
Do not tell me he's playing again
well,
at Bama.
Here's the thing. He has sued the NCAA to gain immediate reinstatement to join Alabama for the rest of their season after the school's appeal for his eligibility was denied. So he is suing the NCAA, and then I just got an update about 45 minutes ago, Ben, that a temporary restraining order has been filed for him to play for Alabama. He is eligible to play for the Crimson Tide this Saturday. That's a guy who is a really good college player 3 whole years ago. Imagine how good he is now.
And people wonder why I don't like college football as much
once
as
again,
I used to.
This guy sues the NCAA, and they immediately fold, and they let him play because this association, whatever you want to call it, this organization, they have no rules and they have no backbone, and it's terrible. And that's the end of the news.
There you go. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. We will hit our two traditions to close out every show and hit a couple more Mitt messages when we return. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on The Mitt. Hey, the Midland Area Community Foundation is dedicated to strengthening our community through generosity and connection, supporting local nonprofits, scholarships, and projects that make Midland a better place to live, work, and play. Your donations help fund vital programs in education, health, the arts, and more right here at home. Partner with the foundation, leave a lasting legacy, and create positive change for generations to come. Get involved, give back, or learn more at midlandareacf.org. Together, we build a stronger Midland, one gift, one idea, and one heart at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
It's time to think about your pig. You know, the propane tank in your backyard that heats your home. Well, there's no better company to fill your pig than Forward Energy, covering over 20 counties. Forward Energy is a family-owned and operated propane supplier that's fueled area homes, farms, businesses, and hunters and anglers since 1925. Fill your pig this year. Visit forwardenergy.com to find out about new customer pricing and programs.
With Forward Energy.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
The High School Game of the Week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
Thursday night, the Midland Chemics and Dow Chargers will face off at the Midland Civic Arena. It's the first of two matchups this season, with each team trying to crack the top three in the Saginaw Valley. Coverage starts Thursday at 7:20.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
He got him! That's 3 of them! The Great Lakes Bay Region's home for Spartans basketball.
A big noon tip-off for the Spartans on Saturday. MSU hosts Maryland at the Breslin. Coverage starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We have two traditions to close out every single show. The first of those is our Lock of the Day.
Lock of the Day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, Lock of the Day smashed yesterday. Smashed. A big time hit for us. Okay? Suns pick up the win. Today. What are we doing today? Oh, I remember.
I was like, is he gonna? I'm gonna force him to remember what it was.
I remember now. Today we are doing Detroit Pistons.
What?
Game.
Okay.
Jalen Duren to score 20 points. We hinted at it earlier. The Pistons are playing the Pelicans tonight. The Pelicans are poopy doo-doo. They have a bottom 5 defensive rating in the NBA. They allow the third most points per game in the paint in the NBA. They have no rim presence. They have no paint protection. I think the K. Duren pick and roll is in full effect today. I think Derek Queen's an awesome offensive player. You guys remember him from college at Maryland last year? I know you do. Awesome offensive player. Duren's going to punish him in the paint. Punish him. The same way that he did against the Phoenix Suns last week, the same way that he did against the Celtics on Monday. I think Jalen Duren is a pretty big game. Plus 20 plus points. What were the odds on that? Something crazy value.
Plus 142.
142. That feels like a steal.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't. 20 points is.
It's not what he averages.
It's a good amount of points.
But he seems to dominate against these, teams that don't really have paint presence.
Last time Jalen Duren scored 20 points?
Tell me. Has it been a while?
December the 23rd.
Really?
Now, obviously, he missed like 4 games in that mix, but...
So it's been a month. So he's due?
7 games in a row without 20. So he's due. I think that's the route I was going to go with.
He's going to score eventually. Also, every time we bet K to score 30, he just won't.
Right. Yeah, I think I'm going to tail this. Jalen Duren is also, kind of playing for an all-star spot right now, trying to make an all-star case. I think he is going to make it, but, he's not going to make it if he has 12 against the Pelicans,
This is the first game we've had since Cade's been announced as an all-star starter, hasn't it?
No, he was against Boston because he had that little all-star patch on his jersey, which is fire, by the way. That's new, right? I don't think that was a thing.
I don't remember that.
I think that was really cool.
I thought that was pretty awesome too.
When are the All-Star reserves announced? Let's find that out because it's got to be somewhat soon.
I would imagine it's within the next week or so.
Feb 1st, so actually a week and a half.
Okay. I would guess Jalen Duren's on the outside looking in right now.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, the thing that he has going for him is there's not really a lot of front court guys in the East.
Right.
But I don't really know how they're splitting up the reserves, if it's East-West or if it's just American versus
Yes, I have no idea how that
European.
works. If they are doing it that way, which right now the starters are split up in even 5 and 5 versus American versus non-American, Team World. So I don't know what their plan is for that. I think it's dumb. Anyways, yeah, I think Jalen Duren's going to score 20 tonight. I like the tail. You are 0.65 units down, by the way, in the Big 2-6. So
Not
you hit
bad.
today, you're back up above even. And your all-time record in 2026 is 6-7.
There we go. Trying to get back to 500 today. Jalen Duren to score 20 plus 142. That is our
Lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Okay. The next tradition we have to close out every show is predicting what Colin Cowherd likes to open up his show with. He takes over airwaves at noon for the Herd, Fox Sports Radio. Either of us get a point yesterday? I don't remember.
No, I got screwed over yesterday.
I remember now.
I picked Indiana, and it's like, this is just a day where I should just be guaranteed a point. You know, I'm going first. It's the day after the national championship. You figure you talk about the national champion. He mentioned Indiana for about 5 seconds, and then he did a whole grand scheme college football thing instead, where he said, oh, well, I mean, it was good. Like, I'm not saying it was bad, but I was just frustrated because I didn't get a point. Just talking about how he thinks college football is basically the NFL now with all these older guys playing. Look at the past national champions. They all have a ton of older guys on their team, this and that. And, yeah, it was more so a grand scheme college football thing rather than about Indiana. So I did not get a point.
So it's my turn to go first.
It's your turn to go first. It's 43-34. A little inverse scoring there.
I'm going to go with Mike McDaniel going to the Chargers and what this is going to do for Herbert's career. It's a weird pairing, him and Harbaugh. Harbaugh's one of the best coaches in all of football. He absolutely loves Jim Harbaugh, loves the Chargers. I think he's going to do this is exactly what Justin Herbert needed in his career, a Mike McDaniel as his play caller. He went from, what was the last guy's name? Greg Roman?
Yeah.
From Brandon Staley, just like over and over again, just had terrible people in charge of him. Now he gets Harbaugh. Now he's got an awesome play caller to go with Harbaugh. This is where the Chargers finally right the ship. That's my open.
I like it. I think it's pretty good. Josh Allen looks like he's going to get foot surgery, by the way. Just looking at some stuff going on. Yeah. May need foot surgery, so nothing confirmed. But anyways, I think it's a pretty good pick. I'm between two things. The Lakers won last night off a Luka triple-double. Anytime that there's like not a lot of football news going on and he has a chance to talk about the Lakers, maybe. I'm not going to do it, though. I think I'm going to go with the guy who had his introductory press conference yesterday. I'm going to go with the John Harbaugh New York Giants lead. You know, just talking about the New York Giants, how Harbaugh's there. Maybe he's the guy for Jackson Dart. Can John Harbaugh be the guy that really fixes things here in the Giants? I like what he said. J-Mac. You know, like that's kind of going to be the angle there. So I'll go with that. I don't feel great about it. I don't really know what the other options are, though. So.
I don't really feel all that great about mine either. He could just zag and do like Denver Broncos.
I was thinking about that. Like, is it too early to talk about the stuff going on this weekend?
No, I don't think so.
At some point, he's going to do the take of, like, I think the Denver Broncos can still win. That's coming. I just know it is.
I think that take is coming from basically everybody, though. If you believe in Sean Payton and you believe in this defense, you should probably think they still have a chance to win.
Right. And we discussed, like, if there was any team to lose their quarterback and have a backup and still maybe have a chance, it's probably them, right? No offense to Bo Nix, but it's like, he's not the reason they are so good. Whereas the other teams, Matt Stafford's the reason they're so good. Drake May's the reason they're so good. The Seahawks, Darnold is definitely a big reason why.
I'm trying to remember how mobile Jared Stidham is. Because Bo Nix does, like, if I'm going to give him credit, the way he rolls out and can play on the run, like, they want him kind of throwing the ball outside of the pocket because he's worse in the pocket. Can Jared Stidham do all that same stuff, or do they have to kind of cater the offense to him? I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't say I'm super tapped into old Jared Stidham tape. The line hasn't moved, by the way. The public has gone down a little bit. It was all over New England. It still is all over New England, but the line hasn't moved, so interesting. I kind of figured it would get like a point or a half point added back to Denver.
And it's just stayed the exact same?
It's 5.5 still, yeah.
I don't know if I like that.
And everybody's still on Seattle, and that line hasn't moved. It's still at 2.5.
I think I'm just going to I'm going to fade the public. I like the Rams to just straight up win, but I also like the Patriots to just kind of, I think they can handle Denver. Although, like, I don't know, man, the Denver home field advantage, that's a real thing. It's not just going to be cold. It's also the elevation part of it, too. And unlike Josh Allen, Drake May did not play in the elevation in college. So we'll see what happens here. All right, we will be back tomorrow. This is going to be a very exciting show. I'm excited. I know Kyle's excited, too. I'm sure we'll have more on the Detroit Lions. Honestly, with the Drew Petzing hire, we'll jump into this tomorrow. With the Drew Petzing hire, doesn't it kind of make you feel like they might want to keep David Montgomery?
That was what somebody brought up earlier in the YouTube chat. I think that's a fair point.
Yeah. Like, if they want to
run the
reestablish
football,
this run and also, like, run between the tackles and reestablish the punch you in the mouth, that's the David Montgomery running style more so than the Gibbs stuff.
For sure.
But it's also just, like, really hard to take Jahmyr Gibbs off the field.
They'll bring in another back, though, if it's not Montgomery.
Right.
So,
but if they bring in another back, I think that it's no longer like a 1A, 1B thing. It's
For
a
sure.
1 and 2. This guy's playing, getting 6 carries a game? Like, we know he's getting 6 to 8 carries a game. Nice. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Just search The Ben Bosscher Show or 100.9 The Mitt. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Love to see that number continue to grow. We're over 1,000 now. Let's aim for 2,000 by June. Steep goal. Why not? Let's do it.